December 10th, 1944, evening, somewhere near Elsenborn, Belgium. My name is Thomas Kowalski, Staff Sergeant 2nd Armored Division, gunner. I'm 22 years old today. Well, yesterday, I guess. It's past midnight now. I'm writing this in Mary's Pride, my tank, by the light of a cigarette lighter. The metal's so cold it hurts to touch, even through my gloves. We're buttoned up for the night, all 5 of us crammed in here trying to stay warm. The engine's off to save fuel, so there's no heat except what our bodies make. My breath comes out in clouds that freeze on the inside of the turret. It's quiet tonight. Too quiet, maybe. But I'll take it. Lieutenant Hendricks is asleep in the commander's seat, his head tilted back against the cupola. Mike Santini, our driver, is snoring down in the bow. Earl Jenkins, the loader, is playing solitaire by flashlight with a deck of cards so worn you can barely tell the suits apart. Danny O'Brien, the bow gunner, is cleaning his .30 caliber for the 3rd time today. Kid can't sit still. We've been here in Belgium for about a week now. Defensive position, they call it, which is fine by me. After 6 months of fighting through France, I'll take boring any day. The war feels far away tonight. The Krauts seem quiet across the line. Command says their army's falling apart, running out of everything. Maybe this whole thing will be over by spring. Maybe. I spent most of today cleaning the 75mm gun. Oil and grease, checking the recoil mechanism, making sure everything works. It's what I know. What I'm good at. Back home in Detroit, I worked the line at Ford's River Rouge plant with my old man. Engines, machinery, keeping things running. This isn't so different really, just the stakes are higher. Mary Catherine Murphy sent me a letter last week. We're engaged. Have been since before I shipped out. She included a new photo, her standing in front of her parents' house on Woodward Avenue, wearing that blue dress I like. She's smiling, but her eyes look worried. I keep the photo tucked in my helmet liner. Sometimes I look at it and can't quite remember what her voice sounds like. That scares me. The tank's named after her, Mary's Pride. I painted it myself on the turret side. The lieutenant didn't mind. Most of the tanks in the company have names. There's Detroit Steel, a Hell's Bell, Iron Fist. The boys in 2nd Platoon have one called Kraut Killer, but that feels like tempting fate to me. Danny just asked me what I'm writing. Told him it's a letter home. Easier than explaining. I'm not even sure why I'm doing this. Keeping a diary, I mean. Maybe because if something happens to me, somebody should know what it was like. What we went through. Or maybe I'm just trying to remember who I was before all this. Before I became good at killing. We ate hot stew tonight. Real beef, potatoes, carrots. First hot meal in 4 days. The cook set up a field kitchen about 2 miles back. We took turns going, 2 tanks at a time, engines running in case we had to move fast. The stew was probably the best thing I've ever tasted, which says something about what passes for normal now. Earl won $23 playing poker tonight with the crew from Hell's Bell. He's good with cards. Says it's about reading people, not the hand you're dealt. I believe him. He can tell when Mike's bluffing from across a tank turret. My hands smell like gun oil and diesel fuel. No matter how many times I wash them, that smell stays. Mary won't recognize me when I get home. I'm not the same kid who worked the assembly line. My hands are harder, scarred. There's a burn on my left palm from grabbing a hot shell casing without thinking. It's healed into a white line that'll probably be there forever. The lieutenant says we might get leave for Christmas. Might get to go back to a real town, sleep in a real bed, take a real shower. I'm not holding my breath. I've learned not to count on anything until it happens. Hope is dangerous. It makes you careless. I can hear artillery in the distance. German or ours, I can't tell anymore. Just a low rumble like thunder that never stops. You get used to it after a while, like traffic noise back home. Background sound that your brain learns to ignore. Danny's asleep now, his head on his pack. He's 19, joined up right out of high school in Boston. Still writes his mother every week, long letters full of lies about how safe he is, how good the food is, how we're all having a grand adventure. I don't have the heart to tell him she probably knows better. Mike talks in his sleep, Italian mostly, words I don't understand. Sometimes he calls for his mother. He's 24, from the Bronx, tough as nails when he's awake. But asleep, he's just a scared kid. We all are, I guess. I should try to sleep. We've got maintenance in the morning. Track tension needs adjusting, the final drive's making a noise I don't like, and we need to reload ammunition. The war might feel far away tonight, but it's still out there, waiting. Mary's last letter said she's saving money for the wedding. Her father's working overtime at the brewery. Her mother's making the dress herself. They're planning for June 1945, 6 months from now. Might as well be 6 years. Might as well be forever. But I'm going to make it home. I have to believe that. Have to hold on to something. The lighter's getting hot. Need to let it cool down before the metal burns my fingers. Good night, Mary. If you ever read this, know that I'm thinking about you. Even here, in a frozen tank in Belgium in the middle of a war, you're what I think about. December 13th, 1944, afternoon. Same position. It's my birthday. 22 years old. The crew surprised me this morning. Earl had been hoarding his cigarette rations for a week and gave them all to me. 3 packs of Lucky Strikes. Mike found a chocolate bar somewhere, probably traded for it. Danny gave me his extra pair of wool socks, which might be the best present of all since mine have holes worn through both heels. Lieutenant Hendricks shook my hand and said, "Try not to die now that you're getting old, Kowalski." Then he gave me an extra cup of coffee from his personal thermos. Real coffee, not the burnt mud we usually get. Mail came through today. 6 letters for me. 3 from Mary, 1 from my mother, 1 from my father, and 1 from my kid sister Helen. I sat on Mary's pride and read them twice each. Mary's wedding plans are coming along. She found a church. St. Stanislaus, the Polish parish where my parents got married. Father Kowalski, no relation, will perform the ceremony. She's picked out flowers, white roses. Her sister Agnes will be maid of honor. She wants to know who I want for best man. I wrote back and said Mike Santini, if he's stateside by then. If not, my cousin Eddie. She sent another photo. This one's her and Agnes together, both of them laughing at something. She looks so alive, so untouched by all this. I stared at that photo for 10 minutes, trying to remember what it feels like to laugh like that. Really laugh. Not the dark, bitter laughs we share here when something absurd happens. My mother's letter was all worry wrapped in cheerful lies. She says my father's doing fine, that the plant is running full shifts, that everyone asks about me, but I can read between the lines. My father got laid off. The Rouge plant is cutting back, shifting to different war production. Money's tight. She doesn't say it directly, but I know. She asks if I need anything, if I'm eating enough, if I'm warm enough. What can I tell her? That I'm fine? That I eat C rations and K rations and sometimes go days without hot food? That I sleep in a tank that's colder than any Detroit winter? That I've killed men? That I'm good at it? So I'll write back and say, yes, Ma, I'm eating fine. Yes, I'm warm enough. Yes, the army takes good care of us. All the lies she needs to hear so she can sleep at night. My father's letter is different, shorter, more honest maybe. He wrote about losing the job, about how he's looking for work, about how proud he is of me. That last part hit hard. I'm not doing anything to be proud of, Pop. I'm just trying not to die. He said the neighborhood's changed. Half the boys from our street are gone. Tommy Kowalski from 2 blocks over, not me, but the other one, got killed at Anzio. Bobby Marcheski lost his legs in Normandy. The Kowalski name gets confusing in a Polish neighborhood in Detroit. Everyone knows someone who didn't come home. Helen's letter made me smile. She's 15 now, doing well in school, has a boyfriend she's not supposed to tell anyone about, but she's telling me anyway. His name's Richard. He's 17, works at a drugstore after school. She wants to know if I think she's too young for a boyfriend. She wants to know what France is like, if I've been to Paris, if French girls are really as pretty as everyone says. I wrote back and told her 16 is plenty old enough for a boyfriend as long as Pop approves, which made me feel ancient. I told her I haven't been to Paris. I told her the French countryside is beautiful in a way that photographs can't capture. I didn't tell her about the hedgerows where we fought for every field, or the burned out farmhouses, or the bodies we saw. The weather's getting colder. Snowed a little this morning, light flurries that didn't stick. The sky's the color of old iron. Everything's gray here. Gray sky, gray ground, gray trees. Even the snow looks gray. We spent the afternoon doing maintenance. I noticed the final drive is getting worse. There's a grinding sound when we turn left that shouldn't be there. Mentioned it to Lieutenant Hendricks. He said he'd put in a request for a mechanic to look at it, but not to hold my breath. Every tank in the division probably has something wrong with it. We make do. Earl and I reloaded the main gun ammunition, 70 rounds, a mix of armor-piercing and high explosive. The AP rounds are for tanks, the HE for infantry and soft targets. We loaded AP first, bottom of the ready rack, because if we're shooting at tanks, we need those shells fast. Each round weighs about 15 pounds. My shoulders ache from lifting them. The 75mm gun is a good weapon, reliable, but I've seen what the German 88 can do, and I've heard stories about their Panthers and Tigers. Our Sherman is outgunned. Everyone knows it. We just don't talk about it. Danny cleaned the radios today. The SCR 508 for long range, the 528 for intertank. Both work fine, but Danny's obsessive about maintenance. Says his uncle was Navy, taught him that equipment failure kills you faster than the enemy. He's not wrong. There's a rumor going around that we might get relieved soon, sent back for refit and rest. Hot showers, real beds, maybe a pass to Brussels or Liège. The men are talking about it like it's already decided. I'm not. Like I said, hope is dangerous. We played cards tonight. Poker, 5-card draw. I lost $11 to Earl, which proves his theory about reading people. Mike won big, $28, and immediately wrote his mother saying he's sending money home. He sends half of everything he wins. Good son. The food tonight was sea rations. Beans and franks, which is about as good as it gets. I heated mine over a little camp stove we made from a ration tin and some jellied fuel. Hot food tastes better, even if it's from a can. Lieutenant Hendricks seems distracted tonight. Keeps checking his maps, listening to the radio chatter. When I asked if something was wrong, he said no, but his eyes said different. The lieutenant's a good officer, been with us since Normandy. He doesn't lie well, which I appreciate. When he's worried, he can't hide it. I'm trying not to be worried too. The artillery's louder tonight, still distant, but louder. And there's movement on the German side. Nothing specific, just a feeling. The kind of feeling you get right before something bad happens. Maybe I'm just jumpy, because it's my birthday, and I'm thinking about mortality. 22 years old. Some guys my age are already married with kids. Some are dead. I'm sitting in a tank in Belgium, waiting for something I can't name. The pen's getting harder to hold. My fingers are stiff from the cold. I should stop writing and try to sleep. We've got guard duty rotation tonight. I'm up from 0200 to 0400 hours. 2 hours of sitting in the cupola, watching darkness and thinking too much. Happy birthday to me. If I make it to 23, I'm going to marry Mary and never leave Detroit again. Going to get a job, any job, and live the most boring life imaginable. And I'm going to be grateful for every boring second of it. The chocolate Mike gave me is sitting on the engine deck. I'm saving it. Something good to look forward to. December 15th, 1944, late evening, same position. Something's wrong. I can feel it. We can all feel it. The lieutenant came back from a briefing this afternoon, and he looked like he'd seen a ghost. Wouldn't say what was discussed, just ordered us to do a full ammunition count, check all systems, and sleep in the tank tonight. Not near it. In it. That's never a good sign. The artillery's been constant for the past few hours. Not directed at us, but close. Too close. And it's not just occasional fire. It's a rolling barrage, the kind that softens up a position before an attack. German artillery, by the sound of it. Heavy stuff. 105s, 155s, maybe bigger. We saw refugees this afternoon. Belgian civilians, families, heading west with whatever they could carry. An old man with a horse-drawn cart. A woman carrying 2 children. A teenage boy pushing a wheelbarrow full of belongings. They looked terrified. When refugees start running, soldiers pay attention. Danny tried to ask one of them what was happening, but his French is terrible and they just kept moving. One old woman grabbed his arm and said something urgent. Danny didn't understand the words, but he understood the tone. Get out, run. We're not running. We're 2nd Armored Division. Hell on wheels. We don't run. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. The sentries have been doubled. Every tank has someone on watch at all times, even during the day. The infantry guys who share this position with us, 116th Infantry Regiment, are digging their foxholes deeper. When infantry starts digging, that's another bad sign. I saw a V-1 rocket tonight, buzz bomb we call them, flew right overhead, engine cutting in and out, headed west toward Liège probably. The engine cut out about 2 miles past us, and it dropped. We heard the explosion, distant, but you feel it in your chest. The Krauts are supposed to be beaten, supposed to be out of gas, out of ammunition, out of men. That's what the newspapers say. That's what the briefings say. But somebody forgot to tell them because something's happening out there in the dark. Earl's nervous. He won't admit it, but I can tell. He keeps checking his carbine, loading and unloading the magazine. Click, click, click. Drives me crazy, but I don't tell him to stop. Everyone has their tells when they're anxious. Mike's quieter than usual. Hasn't made a joke all day. That's not like him. Mike always has something funny to say, some wise guy comment that breaks the tension. Not today. Danny won't stop talking. Nervous chatter about nothing. Baseball scores from last summer. His girl back in Boston. What he's going to eat when he gets home. Anything to fill the silence. I let him talk. Sometimes talking helps. Lieutenant Hendricks is cleaning his 45. Third time today. His hands are steady, but his jaw's tight. He knows something he's not telling us. Officers always know first. The temperature's dropping. Feels like it might snow for real this time, not just flurries. My breath freezes in the air. Inside the tank, it's maybe 10 degrees warmer than outside, which means it's still well below freezing. We're layered in every piece of clothing we own. Long underwear, wool shirt, field jacket, tanker's jacket, overcoat. Still cold. I can't feel my toes. Haven't been able to for about 3 hours. That's dangerous. Frostbite sets in fast. But if I take my boots off to warm my feet, I might not get them back on. Feet swell in the cold, so I keep them on and try to wiggle my toes inside the wool socks Danny gave me. We ate K rations for dinner. Didn't bother heating them. Too tired, too cold. I got ham and eggs, which is supposed to be the good one. Tasted like cardboard. Everything tastes like cardboard when you're scared. I wrote Mary a letter today. Short one. Told her I'm fine, that I love her, that I'm thinking about June. Didn't mention the artillery or the refugees or the feeling in my gut that something bad is coming. What good would it do? Just worry her. Better she thinks I'm safe. The letter's in my pocket. I'll give it to the mail clerk when he comes through. If he comes through. The night's quiet now except for the artillery. Stars are out, bright and cold. You can see your whole hand in front of your face. Even without a moon. That's bad for us. Good for them. Plenty of light for an attack. I'm on watch from midnight to 0200. Danny's got 02 to 04. Mike's got 04 to 06. Earl and the lieutenant will rotate through. None of us will really sleep anyway. The 75mm is loaded with an AP round. Safety off. Traverse unlocked. Ready to fire. All I have to do is get in the gunner's seat, acquire a target, and pull the trigger. 3 seconds. Maybe less. I've done it 100 times. But tonight feels different. Tonight feels like the last night before something changes forever. I can see the other tanks of our platoon. Dark shapes in the starlight. Detroit Steel to our left. Hell's Bell to our right. 5 tanks total, spread out along this ridge overlooking a valley. The valley's dark. Forest mostly. Good tank country if you're attacking. Bad tank country if you're defending. An infantry sergeant came by earlier. Name's Patterson, from Georgia. He asked if we'd heard anything. I said no. He said his colonel told them to be ready for anything. Then he looked at the valley and said, I don't like it. Too quiet. I don't like it either, Sergeant. There's a saying tankers have. Shoot first or brew up. Means you better hit them before they hit you, because if they penetrate your armor, you're burning. Shermans burn fast. The Brits call us Ronsons, after the cigarette lighters. Lights first time, every time. Dark joke. But there's truth in it. I've seen tanks brew up, watched the crew bail out, some of them on fire, watched others who didn't make it out. You don't forget that. You can't. So we maintain our equipment, we stay alert, and we shoot first. That's all we can do. The pen's shaking in my hand. Not from cold. From something else. Fear, maybe. Or just knowing that whatever happens next, we're as ready as we'll ever be. Danny's asleep now, his head on his pack, mouth open. Kid sleeps like the dead. Wish I could. My mind won't shut off. Keeps going over everything. Ammunition load, fuel level, mechanical issues, escape routes, fields of fire, all the things that might keep us alive tomorrow. The artillery stopped. Complete silence now. That's worse than the noise. When artillery stops, it means something's about to start. I'm going to wake the lieutenant. December 16th, 1944, late evening, somewhere south of Elsenborn. All hell broke loose. My hands are shaking so badly I can barely hold the pen. The paper's damp from snow, and I'm writing by the light of a cigarette lighter because we're buttoned up and running dark. No lights, no sound except the engine idling and the distant rumble that hasn't stopped since dawn. They hit us at 05:30 this morning. The Germans hit us with everything they had. I was on watch, sitting in the cupola, scanning the tree line through the periscope. Cold, tired, thinking about Mary. Then the world exploded. Artillery, hundreds of guns, maybe thousands. The sky lit up like daylight. The ground shook. Trees burst apart. The noise was so loud it stopped being sound and became pressure in your skull, in your chest, in your bones. I dropped into the tank and started yelling for the crew. They were already moving. You don't sleep through that. Lieutenant Hendricks was on the radio immediately. All I could hear was static and screaming voices. Every unit on the line getting hit at once. The barrage lasted 30 minutes. Felt like 30 hours. We buttoned up and prayed. Nothing else we could do. A direct hit from a 155 would crack us open like an egg, but direct hits are rare. Most of the fire was going into the infantry positions behind us. We could hear them screaming. When the artillery stopped, we knew what was coming next. Infantry, armor, everything. The lieutenant got us moving. We pulled back from our position on the ridge, took up a spot near the road where we could cover the valley. The other tanks in the platoon did the same. Then we waited. Dawn came up gray and terrible. Snow falling, fog rolling in from the valley. Visibility maybe 200 yards. Perfect weather for an attack. Our air support grounded. Artillery observers blind. They came out of the fog like ghosts. German infantry first. Hundreds of them. White winter camouflage. Hard to see against the snow. The American infantry engaged them. Machine guns, mortars, rifles. The sound was unreal, like the world tearing itself apart. Then we saw the tanks. Panthers. At least a company of them. Massive 75-ton monsters with sloped armor and long guns. Our 75mm rounds bounce off them from the front. Everyone knows it. The only way to kill a panther is from the side or rear, which means getting close, which means getting killed. Lieutenant Hendricks started calling targets. Gunner, target, tank, 12 o'clock, 1,000 yards. I got in my seat, peered through the periscope, acquired the target. A panther moving along the road. Perfect side shot. Identified, I said. Fire when ready, Hendricks said. I put the reticle on the panther's flank, just behind the turret where the armor's thinnest. Took a breath, held it, squeezed the trigger. The 75 roared. The whole tank rocked back. The smell of cordite filled the turret. Earl was already loading the next round. 3 seconds. I watched through the periscope. Direct hit. Sparks flew from the panther's side. It slewed to a stop. Smoke poured from the engine deck. Crew started bailing out. Hit, I reported. Good shooting, Kowalski, Hendricks said. Next target, 2 o'clock. We engaged 4 more tanks that morning. Destroyed 2, damaged 1, missed 1. The one we missed put a round through Detroit steel. I watched it happen. The shell hit the turret ring. The whole tank seemed to lift off the ground. Fire burst from every hatch. Nobody got out. 5 men I knew. Gone in a second. We kept firing. What else could we do? The battle raged all morning. We fell back twice, took up new positions, fell back again. The Germans just kept coming. More infantry, more tanks, half-tracks, artillery, everything. The American line broke in a dozen places. Units got cut off, surrounded. The radio was chaos. Officers screaming for support, men calling for medics, coordinates flying back and forth. Nobody knew what was happening. Nobody could see more than a few hundred yards in the fog and snow. Around noon we heard about Malmedy. A massacre. German SS troops executed American prisoners. 80-some men shot down in a field, left in the snow like garbage. When that news spread through the radio net, something changed. The anger. Men who might have surrendered decided they'd rather die fighting. No mercy, no quarter. I felt it too. White-hot rage. These aren't soldiers anymore. They're murderers. And we're going to kill every last one we can. We engaged a German column in the afternoon, infantry riding on half-tracks. We hit them with high explosive rounds. The 75mm HE shell is devastating against soft targets. The half tracks came apart. Bodies flew through the air. I killed dozens of men in about 30 seconds. I felt nothing, just loaded, aimed, fired, loaded, aimed, fired. Earl was wounded. Shrapnel came through the vision port, cut his face and shoulder. Not bad. He could still load. He wrapped a bandage around his head and kept working. Blood soaked through the gauze. He didn't complain. We're low on ammunition now. 40 rounds left, maybe less. We need resupply, but the supply trucks can't get through. The roads are clogged with retreating units and German armor. Lieutenant Hendricks says we're pulling back to a new defensive line. East of here. Try to consolidate. Form a proper line instead of this chaos. We're moving in 5 minutes. Running dark. Radio silence except for emergencies. I don't know where we are exactly. Somewhere in Belgium. Somewhere south of where we started. The maps don't matter anymore. The front is everywhere and nowhere. We lost Hell's Bell this afternoon. Panzerfaust. German infantry with rocket launchers. They got close in the fog. The rocket hit the turret side. Penetrated. The tank didn't burn, but the crew bailed out. 2 of them made it. 3 didn't. I'm trying to think about Mary, about home, about anything except what I saw today. But all I can see is that Panther crew bailing out, their uniforms on fire. All I can hear is the screaming on the radio. All I can smell is cordite and burning oil. Earl's sitting next to me holding his bloody head. Danny's crying quietly in the bow. He won't admit it, but I can hear him. Mike's staring at nothing, his hands on the controls, waiting for the order to move. Lieutenant Hendricks is on the radio, listening to the chaos. His face is pale. His hands aren't shaking, but they should be. We're alive. For now. That's all I can say. We're alive, and we're moving, and tomorrow we'll do this again, God help us. December 17th, 1944, past midnight. Don't know where. We're stopped in a forest. Engine off, freezing. Too dark to move safely. Too dangerous to use lights. I can't sleep. None of us can. They executed our prisoners. 84 men at Malmedy. The story's all over the radio net. Details keep coming in, and each one is worse than the last. They were taken prisoner, disarmed, marched into a field, machine-gunned, left to die in the snow. Some survived the initial burst, played dead. The SS walked among them and shot anyone who moved. One kid, 18 years old, took 2 bullets and lived. Crawled away when it got dark. Made it to American lines. Told the story. 84 men. The crew's not talking about surrender anymore. Nobody is. We all know what happens if we're captured by the SS. So we fight. And if the tank gets hit, we bail out running, and we don't stop. Lieutenant Hendricks gathered us tonight. Told us we're going to survive this. Told us to watch out for each other. Told us he's proud of us. Then he pulled out a bottle of cognac he'd been saving. French stuff, liberated from some chateau back in September. We passed it around. Took 1 drink each, burned going down, warmed the belly. To the men we lost, Hendricks said. We drank to that. To making these bastards pay, Mike said. We drank to that too. Earl's face is swollen where the shrapnel hit. His left eye's nearly closed. But he can still see well enough to load shells. He says he's fine. I don't believe him, but I don't argue. We need him. We're down to 31 rounds of 75mm, mostly AP, a few HE, not enough for a sustained engagement. If we get in a fight, we better make every shot count. The fuel tank's half full, maybe 100 miles of range. Less if we're maneuvering under fire, which uses more fuel. We need resupply badly. But there is no resupply. The roads are chaos. German armor's broken through in a dozen places. Nobody knows where the front line is anymore. Units are scattered, some are surrounded, some are retreating, some are just gone. We heard 2nd Platoon got hit. 4 tanks. Only 1 made it out. I knew those guys. Played poker with them 2 nights ago. The Germans have Tigers now. Not just Panthers. Actual Tiger tanks. 88mm guns. Armor so thick our shells bounce off from any angle. You can't kill a Tiger from the front. Can barely kill one from the side. The only vulnerable spot is the rear, and good luck getting behind one. Danny saw a tiger this afternoon. We were pulling back through a village, trying to stay off the main roads. The tiger was sitting at a crossroads, turret turned toward us, 200 yards away, might as well have been 2 feet. Mike threw the tank in reverse so fast I thought the transmission would tear apart. We backed into an alley, buttoned up, and prayed. The tiger didn't fire, maybe didn't see us in the snow, maybe had other targets, maybe just didn't care about one Sherman when there were dozens to choose from. We sat in that alley for 20 minutes, engine off, barely breathing, waiting. Finally the tiger moved on. We heard it before we saw it. That huge Maybach engine, distinctive sound. Once you've heard it, you never forget it. When we moved out, we went the opposite direction. You don't fight tigers in a Sherman. You avoid them, you run, you pray. That's the doctrine. 5 Shermans to kill 1 tiger, they say. We're not suicidal enough to test that theory. I killed a man today, up close. We were covering an infantry withdrawal. German soldiers came out of the woods, 50 yards away. They had a Panzerfaust team, 2 men, one carrying the launcher, one carrying the rockets. I traversed the turret, put them in my sights. They saw us the same moment, started running toward us. I pulled the trigger on the coaxial 30 caliber, the machine gun rattled. Tracers arced across the snow. I walked the fire into them, saw them fall, saw the Panzerfaust launcher hit the ground, saved the tank, saved the crew, killed 2 men. I can see their faces, young, younger than me maybe. One of them looked like my cousin Eddie, same build, same way of moving. I killed him anyway, had to. But I can't stop seeing his face. Earl says it gets easier, says after a while you don't think about it, just do the job. I'm not sure I believe him. I'm not sure I want it to get easier. If killing gets easy, what does that make me? The temperature's dropping, 10 degrees, maybe less. Everything's frozen. The turret traverse is sluggish from the cold. The radio's acting up. The water in our canteens is ice. We have to melt snow to drink, and the snow tastes like smoke and chemicals. Mike's frostbitten. 3 toes on his left foot. Went numb this afternoon. Turned white. Now they're swelling. He needs a medic, but there aren't any. The aid station's somewhere back near Malmedy, if it still exists. So he's wrapping his feet in extra socks and hoping. Danny won't stop shivering, not from cold, from fear. The kid's terrified, keeps talking about his mother, about Boston, about wanting to go home. We all want to go home, Danny, we all do. But home's a long way from here. I should try to sleep. We're moving at dawn, or what passes for dawn in this fog and snow. The lieutenant says we're heading toward Malmedy to link up with whatever's left of the division. I don't want to go to Malmedy, don't want to see that field. But orders are orders. Mary's photo is creased now. I keep it in my helmet liner and the leather's soaked from sweat and melted snow. Her face is fading. The paper's starting to tear along the fold line. I look at it anyway. Try to remember what her voice sounds like. Try to remember why we're fighting. Freedom, democracy, liberating Europe. All the big words. Right now it feels like we're fighting because the alternative is dying, and we're not ready to die yet. December 18th, 1944. Time unknown. Lost. We're lost. The fog's so thick I can't see the bow of the tank from the turret. We've been driving in circles for hours. No idea where we are. The roads all look the same. Forest, snow, more forest. Lieutenant Hendricks is trying to navigate by compass, but it's hard when you can't see landmarks. The map's useless. Half the villages marked on it don't exist anymore. Burned out or occupied by Germans, or just empty. The roads don't match the map. Nothing makes sense. We're out of radio contact with the company. Completely alone. 5 men in a tank somewhere in Belgium with no support, no resupply, no orders. Danny's frostbite is getting worse. His nose turned white an hour ago. We rubbed snow on it, got the circulation back, but it's going to get bad if we don't warm up soon. Problem is there's nowhere to warm up. Can't light a fire. Too visible. Can't run the engine long. Low on fuel. We found an abandoned farmhouse around noon. Stopped to check it out. The family had left in a hurry. Food still on the table, frozen solid now. Pictures on the walls. A child's toy on the floor. A doll with blonde hair and a blue dress. We searched for supplies, found half a loaf of bread, frozen but edible, found some potatoes in the cellar, found a bottle of something alcoholic. Mike said it was Genever, Belgian gin. We took it all. We also found a dead American soldier in the barn. Infantry, shot in the back. We buried him as best we could in the frozen ground. Didn't have time to dig deep. Covered him with hay and said a prayer. Danny found his dog tags. Private First Class James Morrison, 116th Infantry. Kid from Nebraska, according to his tags. We'll turn them in when we find friendly lines. If we find friendly lines, the snow's getting heavier, 3 inches on the ground now. More falling, the tracks leave deep marks. Anyone following us can track us easy. We're trying to stick to roads where other traffic has churned the snow, hide our tracks in the mess. But we haven't seen other traffic in hours. No American vehicles, no German vehicles, nothing. Just empty roads and dark forests and falling snow. It's like the world ended and we're the last ones left. Earl's eye is infected. The shrapnel wound is angry red, leaking pus. He needs antibiotics. We don't have any. Best we can do is keep it clean with melted snow and wrapped in the cleanest bandage we have, which isn't saying much. He's not complaining. Earl never complains. Just loads shells and makes dark jokes about how he'll get a Purple Heart and a medical discharge. I hope he's right. The fuel gauge is showing 1/4 tank, maybe 25 gallons, maybe 60 miles of range if we're lucky. We need to find a supply dump or a friendly unit, or we're going to be walking soon. Walking in winter in German-occupied Belgium is a death sentence. We heard artillery in the distance. Couldn't tell which direction. Sound bounces weird in the fog. Could be ahead of us. Could be behind us. Could be all around us. We stopped. Engine off. Listening. Nothing but the wind and the snow. Mike wanted to keep moving. Danny wanted to hole up and wait for the fog to lift. Earl didn't care either way. Lieutenant Hendricks made the call. We keep moving. Slowly, carefully. But we keep moving. Sitting still makes you a target. I'm so tired I can't think straight. Haven't slept in 36 hours. Maybe longer. Time's running together. Morning, afternoon, night, it's all the same gray blur. My body aches, my eyes burn, even my teeth hurt from clenching my jaw, but I can't sleep. Too wired, too scared. What if we run into a German patrol? What if we're driving straight into an ambush? What if the tank breaks down? What if we run out of fuel? What if? The thoughts won't stop. I miss home so badly it's a physical pain. Miss my mother's cooking. Miss my father's laugh. Miss Helen's chatter. Miss Mary's letters. Miss everything about the world, where people don't shoot at you. I'm starting to forget what that world felt like. We passed a burned-out American convoy this afternoon. Half-tracks, trucks, a couple of jeeps, all destroyed. Bodies in the snow, frozen in the positions they fell. We didn't stop. Couldn't help them. Could only keep moving. Danny threw up when he saw them, leaned out the bow port and vomited into the snow. Mike told him to button up. We couldn't stop. Danny just nodded and wiped his mouth and stayed quiet after that. I wanted to throw up too. Didn't. Kept it down. But it's sitting in my stomach like a stone. The cold is unbearable. I can't feel my hands even inside gloves. Can't feel my feet. My face is numb. The inside of the tank is coated with frost from our breath. Everything metal is too cold to touch. If your bare skin hits it, you stick. We're wearing every piece of clothing we own, and it's not enough. This is what freezing to death feels like. Slow, painful, inevitable. Unless we find shelter soon. Lieutenant Hendricks says there's a village marked on the map about 5 miles northeast. Might still be there. Might be friendly. Might have Americans. Might have supplies. Might have Germans. No way to know except go there and find out. We're moving in 10 minutes. Going to try to make the village before dark. It's already getting dim. Sun sets early in December. Though you can't tell with the fog and clouds. Just gets darker gradually until you can't see anything. We'll navigate by compass and hope. That's all we have left. Hope. God, I want to go home. Want to sleep in a real bed. Want to eat real food. Want to take a hot shower and put on clean clothes and sit by a fire and read a newspaper and pretend the war doesn't exist. Want to see Mary. Want to hold her. Want to hear her voice. Want this to be over. But it's not over. It's barely started. The Germans are advancing. We're retreating. This is the biggest battle since D-Day. Maybe bigger. And we're losing. Nobody's saying it, but we all know it. We're losing. The pen's freezing. The ink's starting to get thick. Hard to write. Need to stop, need to get ready to move. If anyone finds this and I don't make it, tell my family. I was thinking of them. Tell Mary I loved her. Tell them I tried. December 20th, 1944, late afternoon. Near Marsh, I think. We found the division, or what's left of it. Made it to the village yesterday. Turns out it was held by American forces, 2nd Armored Division, our division, along with elements of 84th Infantry. They'd set up a defensive line, were holding against German probes. When we rolled in, Lieutenant Hendricks reported to the company commander, told him we'd been separated, fought our way back. The captain just nodded like he'd heard that story 100 times, probably had. We got resupply, fuel, ammunition, food. The fuel truck gave us 70 gallons. The ammo truck gave us a full combat load, 70 rounds of 75mm. The mess truck gave us hot coffee and beef stew. That stew, God, I can't describe how good it was. Real meat, real potatoes, hot. We ate until we couldn't move, then we slept. First real sleep in 3 days. 8 hours straight. Woke up stiff and sore but more human. Earl went to the aid station. Medic cleaned his wound, gave him sulfur powder and a proper bandage, said the eye would heal but he'd have a scar. Earl said that's fine, chicks dig scars. The medic didn't laugh. Danny got treatment for his frostbite. Medic said he was lucky, could have lost his toes. As it is, he'll probably keep them but they'll hurt for the rest of his life. Small price to pay. Mike's toes are worse. The medic wanted to evacuate him but Mike refused, said he's not leaving his tank, not leaving his crew. The medic shrugged and said, suit yourself, gave him extra socks and told him to keep his feet elevated when possible. Like that's going to happen. We're part of the effort to relieve Bastogne now. The 101st Airborne is surrounded there. Cut off. Germans have them completely encircled. But the 101st is holding, refusing to surrender. Now the army's trying to break through and get them supplies. We're part of that push. We moved out this morning. The whole combat command. Tanks, infantry, tank destroyers, artillery, moving south toward Bastogne. The Germans are fighting for every mile. We engaged enemy armor this afternoon. Panthers again. 3 of them covering a road junction. We flanked them, came around through a forest trail, caught them by surprise. I got 2 kills. Clean flank shots. Both tanks brewed up. The 3rd tried to run, but Iron Fist from 2nd Platoon nailed it with a shot through the engine deck. The Panthers stopped, smoke pouring out, crew bailing. Our infantry moved up and took them prisoner. 4 men, young. 1 was wounded, bleeding from the leg. The medics treated him. By the book. Even though they know what happened at Malmedy, that's the difference between us and them, I guess. We still follow the rules. We lost a tank today, not from our platoon. From 3rd, a brand new Sherman with a fresh crew, replacements who arrived 2 days ago. They got hit by an 88. Gunner didn't see it in time. The shell went through the Glacis plate like it wasn't there. The tank didn't burn, just stopped. No one got out. 5 boys who'd been with the division less than a week, dead before they learned everyone's names. The replacements keep coming though. New tanks, new crews, they're pouring in from England, from the States, throwing everything at this battle. This must be important if they're sending this many reinforcements, or we're losing worse than we think. Lieutenant Hendricks got promoted. Well, kind of. He's acting company commander now. The real captain got hit yesterday. Wounded, evacuated. So, Hendricks is in charge until they send a replacement, which means we need a new tank commander. The lieutenant asked me if I'd do it. Said I've got the experience. Said the crew trusts me. Said he needs good men in leadership positions. I said yes. What else could I say? So now I'm acting tank commander for Mary's Pride. Staff Sergeant Kowalski, TC. Sounds important. Feels terrifying. I'm responsible for keeping these 4 men alive. Mike, Danny, Earl, and whoever they send as the new bow gunner. That's the other thing. Danny's moving to loader. Earl's being evacuated despite his protests. His eye is too damaged. He can't see well enough to do his job safely. The medics are putting him on a truck to Liège tomorrow. He'll probably go home. He cried when they told him. Not from happiness. From guilt. Leaving the crew. Leaving us. I told him he'd done his part. Told him to go home and marry that girl he writes to. Told him we'd be fine. I hope I wasn't lying. The new loader is a kid named Rodriguez, private first class, 20 years old, from New Mexico. This is his first combat assignment. He arrived yesterday, wide-eyed and terrified. I'm trying to train him fast, showed him how to load the 75, how to handle the shells without dropping them, how to work in the cramped turret without hitting the gunner, how to move fast when things get hot. He's a quick learner. Has to be. We're moving out again tomorrow. The new bow gunner is a kid named Wilson, even younger, 19, from Iowa, farm boy, never seen a tank before basic training, doesn't know Mike, doesn't know Danny, doesn't know me, but he's part of the crew now. We take care of our own. Mike's being good about it, cracking jokes, making Wilson feel welcome. That's Mike. Even with frostbitten toes and 3 days of hell behind him, he's trying to keep morale up. Danny's quieter. The last few days broke something in him. He does his job, but the chatter's gone. The nervous energy. He's just going through the motions now. I'm worried about him. But we all have to keep functioning. No time for breaking down. The war doesn't care about your mental state. We heard about the Bastogne situation in detail tonight. General McAuliffe, commanding the 101st, got a surrender demand from the Germans. His reply was one word. Nuts. The men love it. Nuts. It's spreading through the division like wildfire. When the Germans demanded surrender, the Screaming Eagles said nuts. And they're still fighting. We're going to get them out, break the siege, get them supplies, show the Krauts that Americans don't abandon Americans, even if it kills us. The weather's supposed to clear tomorrow. That's good and bad. Good because our air support can fly again. The thunderbolts and lightnings have been grounded since the 16th. 3 days of German air superiority. That's ending. Bad because clear weather means the Germans can see us too. Harder to hide, harder to maneuver, easier to get shot. But I'll take it. I'll take air support over concealment any day. I wrote Mary tonight, short letter, told her I'm fine, told her I got promoted, sort of, told her I love her and I'm thinking about her every day. Didn't tell her about Earl, about the replacements, about watching men burn, about being so scared I can't think straight. What good would it do? The letter's in my jacket pocket. I'll mail it when I can, if I can. The artillery's constant now, day and night, ours and theirs. The sky flashes with muzzle blasts. The ground shakes. You get used to it, like thunder that never stops. Except sometimes it's not thunder, sometimes it's right on top of you, and then you're not getting used to anything. You're just trying not to die. We're sleeping in the tank again tonight. Too dangerous to sleep outside. German patrols everywhere. Can't risk getting caught in the open. It's cold. So cold. But we're alive. That's something. That's enough. For now. December 22nd, 1944. Night. Position near Baraque de Fraiture. Mike's dead. I can't. He's dead, and it's my fault. We were moving up a road, taking fire from the tree line. Artillery. Tree bursts. The shells explode in the canopy and rain shrapnel down. Brutal. Deadly. I ordered the crew to button up. All hatches closed. We were buttoned up tight, safe inside the tank. But the left track was making a noise. Grinding sound. I thought maybe we'd thrown a track or the tension was off. If the track breaks, we're immobile. Dead in the water. Easy target. I should have waited, should have kept moving, should have let the mechanics check it later, but I didn't. I ordered Mike to stop, told him I'd check the track, just a quick look. 2 minutes, I opened the commander's cupola, started to climb out. Mike said he'd do it. Said I'm the TC now, I should stay in the tank. I'm more important. I let him, God forgive me, I let him. He climbed out of the driver's hatch, dropped to the ground, walked around to the left side to check the track. The artillery came in, tree burst, 20 yards away, maybe less. I saw the flash, heard the explosion, felt the shockwave. Then I heard Mike screaming. I jumped out. Stupid. Suicidal. But he was screaming and I had to help him. He was on the ground next to the track. Shrapnel had hit him, his chest, his stomach, his legs, blood everywhere. So much blood. I tried to drag him to the tank, get him to cover, but he was too heavy and the blood made everything slippery. Danny came out, helped me. We got Mike behind the tank, out of the direct line of fire, but it was too late. The shrapnel had torn him apart. I could see inside him, things that should never be outside. He looked at me. His eyes were wide, confused, like he didn't understand what was happening. "Tommy," he said. "Tommy, it hurts." I told him he'd be okay, told him to hold on, told him the medic was coming. All lies. He knew it too. I could see it in his eyes, the understanding, the fear. "Tell my mother," he said. "Tell her." Then he stopped talking. His eyes went empty, just like that. 1 second a person, the next second nothing. Danny was crying. I was crying. We dragged Mike's body into the tank. Couldn't leave him out there. Then we buttoned up and kept moving because the artillery was still coming in and we couldn't stop. We drove for 2 hours with Mike's body in the driver's compartment. Rodriguez had to drive. He'd never driven a Sherman before, but he learned fast. Had to. We finally stopped at a casualty collection point. Medical troops took Mike's body, put him with the others, so many others, rows of bodies wrapped in shelter halves and blankets. They gave me his personal effects, dog tags, wallet, a letter he'd been writing to his mother, unfinished. The last line says, "Don't worry, Ma, I'm staying safe." I vomited. Right there. Couldn't help it. Just fell to my knees and threw up everything in my stomach. Danny held me up. Kid stronger than he looks. They assigned us a new driver. Name's Wilson. Same kid who was supposed to be bow gunner. Now he's driving. We'll get another bow gunner tomorrow. Assuming we live that long. The battle's getting worse. The Germans are pushing hard. We're pushed back, but we're not breaking, not running. We're making them pay for every yard. But the cost. God, the cost. C Company's down to 8 tanks. We started with 18, 10 tanks lost in 6 days, 50 men dead or wounded. The division's been battered. We're still fighting, but we're hurt. Bad. The 101st is still holding Bastogne. We're getting closer, pushing through German lines, losing men, losing tanks, but pushing. I can't stop seeing Mike's face, can't stop hearing him call my name. It was my fault. I should have kept moving, should have checked the track later, should have gone myself instead of letting him. Should have. Danny says it's not my fault, says Mike volunteered, says it was bad luck, wrong place, wrong time, says I can't blame myself. But I do. He was my friend, my brother. I got him killed. And now I have to write his mother and tell her what happened. Tell her he died quickly. Tell her he didn't suffer. More lies. He suffered. He was terrified. He died in the snow in Belgium 1,000,000 miles from home. And it's my fault. I can't do this anymore. Can't keep losing people. Can't keep watching them die. But I have to. Because if I break down, the rest of the crew dies too. They're depending on me. Wilson, Danny, Rodriguez. They need me to keep it together. So I will. I'll keep it together until this is over. Then I'll fall apart. The weather cleared this afternoon. First time in days the sun broke through. Our planes came out. Thunderbolts. Beautiful sight. They hit German. Positions hard. Bombs, rockets, machine guns. The Krauts scattered like roaches. Good. I hope they burn. I hope they all burn. I'm so angry, so tired, so done with all of this. But we keep fighting. We've got a briefing in an hour, new orders, probably another push, another attack, another chance to die. I need to clean the 75, need to check ammunition, need to make sure the crew's ready, need to keep moving forward because stopping means thinking and thinking means seeing Mike's face. So I won't stop, won't think, just do the job. That's all I can do. December 24th, 1944. Christmas Eve, near Marsh. There's a field service tonight. Chaplain Miller is holding it in a barn. Says any man who wants to come is welcome. I'm going. Don't know why. Don't know what I'm looking for, but I'm going. The last few days are a blur. We've been fighting constantly. Small engagements, skirmishes, hit and run. The Germans are everywhere. We're everywhere. The lines are so confused nobody knows who controls what. We destroyed 3 German tanks yesterday. 2 on Christmas Eve morning. 1 was a Panther. The other two were Mark IVs, older models, but still dangerous. I directed the fire. Rodriguez loaded fast. We killed them all, felt nothing. That's what scares me. I used to feel something. Triumph, horror, fear, anything. Now there's just nothing. Mechanical. Load, aim, fire, kill, move on. Danny's the same way. He works the gun like a robot. Doesn't talk, doesn't joke, just does the job. Wilson's learning fast. He's a good driver. Not as good as Mike. Nobody's as good as Mike was. But Wilson keeps us moving, and that's what matters. Rodriguez is quiet, does his job, loads fast, doesn't complain, good kid. I don't know anything about him except he's from New Mexico and he has 3 sisters. Don't want to know more. The more you know about someone, the harder it is when they die. Earl sent a letter from the hospital in Liège, says he's healing up, says they might send him home, says he feels guilty for leaving us. I wrote back, told him not to feel guilty, told him he earned his ticket home, told him to live a good life for those of us who don't make it. Didn't mention Mike. Couldn't. The company got replacements yesterday. 4 new tanks, 20 new men, fresh from England, wide-eyed, scared, young. They look at us like we're veterans, like we know what we're doing. We don't. We're just alive by luck and momentum. I had to brief the new TCs, tell them how we operate, what to expect, how to stay alive. Felt like a fraud. What do I know? I got Mike killed. What right do I have to tell anyone how to survive? But I did it anyway. Told them to keep moving. Don't present a stationary target. Watch for 88s. They're everywhere. Don't fight tigers head on. Flank or run. Take care of your crew. They're all you have. One of the new guys, a second lieutenant, fresh from Fort Knox, asked me how many tanks I've killed. I said I don't know. Stopped counting. Truth is I remember every one. 7 confirmed kills, 3 probables. But I didn't want to tell him that. Didn't want to see that look, that mix of awe and fear. I'm not a hero. I'm just a guy who's good at aiming a gun. The food's been better the last 2 days. Hot meals. Turkey for Christmas Eve dinner. The cooks are doing their best, trying to make it feel like a holiday. It doesn't. It feels like any other day. Cold, dangerous, full of death. But the turkey's good and the coffee's hot, and that's something. I miss home so much it's a physical ache. Miss my mother's cooking. Christmas Eve, she'd make pierogies. 12 different kinds, 1 for each apostle. Cabbage and mushroom. Potato and cheese. Sweet cheese with raisins. We'd go to midnight mass at St. Stanislaus. The church would smell like incense and pine. The choir would sing Polish carols. Everyone would be there. The whole neighborhood. Feels like a different lifetime. Feels like it happened to someone else. Mary sent a Christmas package. It arrived today. Cookies. But they're all crumbs from shipping. A new pair of gloves she knitted herself. A small photo album with pictures of her, her family, my family. A letter. The letter's the best part. She writes about her hopes for the future. Our future. The wedding, the house we'll buy, the kids we'll have. She's planned it all out. I want to believe in that future. Want to believe I'll make it home. Want to believe we'll have that life. But I can't see it, can't picture it. All I can see is snow and tanks and death. The gloves fit perfect. I'm wearing them now. They're warm. They smell like home, somehow. Like Mary. I wrote her back. Merry Christmas. I love you. I'm sorry I'm not there. Didn't tell her about Mike. Didn't tell her I'm not the same person she remembers. Didn't tell her I don't know if that future she's planning is possible anymore. Just said I love her. Because I do. Even if I can't feel much else, I can still feel that. The service is starting soon. I can hear men walking toward the barn, boots crunching in the snow, quiet voices. I should go. Don't know what I'm looking for. Absolution, peace, understanding. Maybe just a reminder that there's more to life than killing. Maybe just a moment to feel human again. Danny's coming with me. Wilson too. Rodriguez is staying with the tank. Someone has to. We're all taking turns. Half the crew's at the service, half on guard. Then we'll switch. Because even on Christmas Eve, the war doesn't stop. The Germans don't care about holidays. Neither does death. But maybe for an hour, in a barn in Belgium, we can pretend. Pretend we're not killers, not soldiers, not instruments of death. Just men, just boys, just human beings trying to find hope in the darkness. I don't know if it'll work, but I have to try. December 24th, 1944, past midnight, Christmas Day now. The service helped, a little. Chaplain Miller spoke about hope, about faith, about how even in the darkest times there's light. I wanted to believe him. He read from Luke, the birth of Christ, peace on earth, goodwill toward men. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Here we are, Christians killing Christians on Christmas. For what? For land? For ideology? For leaders who'll never see a battlefield? But we sang anyway. Silent Night. The German soldiers are probably singing it too, on their side of the line. Stille Nacht. Same song, same God, different uniforms. Makes you think. Danny cried during the hymn. Didn't try to hide it. A lot of men cried. Nobody judges. We're all breaking inside. Sometimes the cracks show. Wilson prayed, his lips moving silently, hands clasped, eyes closed. Farm boy faith. I hope it helps him. I tried to pray, couldn't find the words. What do you say to God in a war? Thank you for letting me live while Mike died? Help me kill more efficiently? Forgive me for what I've done? I don't know. So I sat there in silence and listened to other men's prayers and hoped it counted for something. After the service, we walked back to the tank. The night's clear, stars everywhere. Cold and bright and beautiful. You could almost forget there's a war. Almost. Then we heard artillery. Distant, but close enough to remind us. Always close enough to remind us. We shared the contraband wine. Someone in 3rd Platoon liberated a case from a Belgian cellar, passed bottles around. We drank a toast. To the men we lost. Mike. Earl's probably safe in England by now, but we toasted him anyway. The crews from Detroit Steel and Hell's Bell. Morrison from the barn. The 84 at Malmedy. All the ones who didn't make it to Christmas. To going home, if we make it. To Mary's Pride and crew. Damaged, scarred, but still fighting. The wine was good, red, tasted like grapes and earth and civilization, things that exist somewhere beyond this frozen hell. Rodriguez told us about Christmas in New Mexico, how his family goes to midnight mass and then has tamales and hot chocolate, how his abuela makes bizcochitos, cookies with anise that melt in your mouth, how they sing villancicos, Mexican Christmas carols. He got homesick talking about it. We all did. Wilson talked about Christmas on the farm, how they cut their own tree from the back 40, how his mother makes pumpkin pie and roasted goose, how they don't exchange many presents because money's tight. But everyone gets new socks, and there's always oranges in the stockings. He's never had Christmas anywhere but Iowa. This is his first Christmas away from home. He's 19 years old. Danny talked about Boston, about his mother's cooking, Irish stew and soda bread, about going to Mass at St. Patrick's, about his father getting drunk and singing rebel songs, happy drunk, not mean, just sentimental. Danny's father died in 42, heart attack. Danny enlisted 3 months later. His mother didn't want him to go, but he went anyway, felt like it was his duty. Now he's here, in a tank in Belgium on Christmas, and I can see him wondering if duty was worth it. I talked about Detroit. About my family's traditions, the pierogies, the mass, how my father would take us to see the Christmas windows at Hudson's department store, how we'd drive around looking at decorations in the rich neighborhoods, how Mary and I would meet after Mass and walk in the snow and make plans for a future that seemed certain then, seems impossible now. But I'm still here, still breathing, still fighting. That's something. We finished the wine and went quiet. Just sat there, 4 men leaning against a tank looking at the stars. Somewhere in that silence I felt something. Not peace exactly, not hope, but maybe acceptance. This is my life now. This is what I am. A tank commander in a war, a killer, a survivor. Mike's death isn't my fault. Not really. It's the war's fault. It's Hitler's fault. It's the fault of every bastard who decided this was how to solve problems. I couldn't have saved him. Could only honor him by staying alive, by doing my job, by taking care of the crew that's left. That's what Mike would want. Rodriguez fell asleep against the tank. Wilson went to take first watch. Danny and I sat a while longer. "You okay, Tommy?" Danny asked. "No," I said, "but I will be." "When?" "When this is over." "You think it'll ever be over?" "Has to be," I said. "Nothing lasts forever, not even this." He nodded, didn't look convinced but nodded anyway. "Merry Christmas, Tommy." "Merry Christmas, Danny." We shook hands. Then he went to sleep and I stayed up, looking at the stars, thinking about Mary and home and a future I can barely imagine. The artillery stopped for now. Everything's quiet, just the wind and the cold and the stars. Peace on earth, for one night at least, one night. December 25th, 1944, Christmas Day, afternoon, we attacked at dawn. Merry Christmas, here's some war. The orders came at 0500. Combat Command B is pushing toward Bastogne. The siege has to be broken. The 101st needs supplies. Patton's Third Army is coming up from the south, but they need help from the north. That's us. We rolled out at 0600. 14 tanks. 2 platoons. Infantry support from 84th Division. Our objective was a crossroads 3 miles east. German armor was dug in. We had to take it. Christmas morning. Below zero. Stars still visible in the pre-dawn. We moved in column formation. Darkness. Our only cover. Engines roaring. Tracks clanking. No surprise possible. They'd hear us coming. The sun came up red and cold. Long shadows on the snow. Beautiful if you could forget what was about to happen. We couldn't forget. The Germans opened up at 700 yards. Anti-tank guns. 88s. They'd been waiting. Knew we were coming. The first round hit Iron Fist dead center. Penetrated the turret. The tank stopped. Hatches flew open. 3 men got out. 2 didn't. Lieutenant Hendricks gave the order. All units advance, suppressing fire. We charged. Sounds insane when I write it. Charging German anti-tank guns. But that's the doctrine. Speed and aggression. Present a moving target. Get close enough that their guns can't depress low enough to hit you, assuming you survive that long. I directed fire while we moved. Target the gun flashes. The 88s reveal themselves when they fire. Big muzzle blast, easy to spot. Gunner, target, anti-tank gun, 11 o'clock, 800 yards. Danny acquired. Identified. Fire. The 75 roared. Rodriguez loaded the next shell before the first one hit. 3 seconds. Direct hit. The 88 position exploded. Ammunition cooking off. Men running from the blast. Danny put machine gun fire on them. They fell in the snow. We kept moving. 2 more 88s firing. Our tanks returning fire. Infantry advancing behind us. Mortars dropping smoke to cover our approach. We took the crossroads at 0730. Cost us 3 tanks. 15 men dead or wounded. Christmas morning. The worst part came after. German infantry had been supporting the anti-tank guns. When we overran the position, we found them in their foxholes. Some surrendered, threw down their weapons, hands up. We took them prisoner. By the book. Disarmed them. Sent them to the rear under guard. But some didn't surrender. Kept fighting. We had to kill them. I watched American infantry clear a machine gun nest. Grenades, rifle fire, close quarter fighting, brutal. When it was over, there were bodies everywhere. German, American, all mixed together in the snow. One German kid, couldn't have been more than 17, was still alive. Gut shot, screaming. Our medics triaged him, gave him morphine, tried to stabilize him for evacuation. He died while they worked on him, died calling for his mother. In German, but you don't need to speak the language to understand. He looked like my cousin Eddie. I threw up again. Couldn't help it. Danny stood next to me, looking pale. Wilson just stared. Rodriguez crossed himself and muttered a prayer in Spanish. This is Christmas. This is what we're doing on the day Christ was born. Killing each other. We held the crossroads. Dug in. Waited for German counterattack. It came at noon. Panthers. 4 of them. Infantry support. They tried to retake the position. We were ready. Fought them from defensive positions. Had the advantage. Better fields of fire. Prepared fighting positions. We stopped them. Destroyed 2 Panthers. Damaged a 3rd. The 4th withdrew. Their infantry fell back. We held. Cost us 1 more tank. 4 more men. Christmas Day. The field kitchen came forward at 1400 hours. Hot turkey dinner, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, pie, served in the middle of a battlefield, bodies still lying in the snow 50 yards away. The smell of cordite and death in the air. We ate anyway. You eat when you can. Might be the last hot meal you get. The turkey tasted like ashes. Earl's replacement arrived today. New loader, kid named Harrison, from Tennessee, nervous, keeps dropping shells during practice loading. Rodriguez is patient with him, shows him how to handle the ammunition, how to work in the tight space, how to stay calm under fire. Rodriguez is a good soldier. Steady, reliable. I'm glad he's on the crew. Danny got a letter from home. His mother sent it weeks ago, but it just caught up. She writes about Christmas plans, about missing him, about praying for him every day. Danny read it and cried, just stood there, letter in hand, tears running down his face. Didn't try to hide it. Wilson put an arm around his shoulders, didn't say anything, just stood there with him. That's all you can do sometimes, just stand with someone while they break. I got a letter too, from Mary, written December 10th, 2 weeks old. She writes about wedding plans, about how beautiful it will be, about our future, about the life we'll have. I want to believe her, want to believe there's a future beyond this war, beyond killing and dying and watching boys scream for their mothers in languages I don't speak. But sitting here, in a tank at a crossroads in Belgium on Christmas Day, surrounded by death and destruction, that future feels like a fairy tale. Something beautiful that doesn't exist. I'm writing her back, telling her I love her, telling her I'm coming home, hoping it's true. We're on watch rotation tonight. Harrison, Wilson, Danny, Rodriguez, and me. 2 hours each, someone always awake, always watching. Because the war doesn't stop for Christmas. Because the Germans might attack again tonight. Because if we let our guard down, we die. The artillery started up again at dusk. German 105s, landing a mile behind us, hitting supply lines probably. Our own artillery answering. 155s. The sound is constant, distant thunder that never stops. I'm so tired, not just physically, mentally, spiritually. Tired of killing, tired of watching men die, tired of being afraid. But I keep going. Because the crew needs me, because the mission isn't done. Because stopping means giving up, and I won't do that. Not yet. Not while there's still a chance of going home. Mary's photo is falling apart, the paper's torn along the crease, her face is faded from handling. But I still carry it, still look at it, still try to remember why we're fighting. For her. For home. For a future where boys don't die in snow on Christmas Day. For a world where this never happens again. That's worth fighting for. Even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when all you can see is death. You fight anyway. Because the alternative is letting them win. And we're not going to let them win. Merry Christmas, Mary. I'm coming home. I promise. December 27th, 1944. Time unknown. Somewhere. The days are blurring together. I don't know what day it is, except the calendar says 27th. Could be any day. They're all the same. Cold. Violent. Endless. We're constantly moving. Attack, withdraw, attack again. The front lines shift by the hour. Villages change hands multiple times a day. Nobody knows who controls what. We just keep fighting. I killed German infantry at close range yesterday. Day before. Time has no meaning. We were supporting an attack. American infantry moving through a village, German defenders in the buildings. We provided covering fire. 75mm HE into the stone buildings, 30 caliber machine gun fire on anything that moved. A group of German soldiers ran from a building we just shelled. 10 men, maybe 12, running across a street, 50 yards away. I could see their faces through the periscope. I ordered Danny to fire the 50 caliber. The big machine gun mounted on the turret. I manned it myself, stood in the commander's cupola, pulled the trigger. The gun roared. Tracers arced across the street. Heavy rounds, 50 mm 50 caliber, half an inch wide. They tear people apart. The German soldiers fell, all of them, just fell like someone cut their strings. I watched through the sights, watched them fall, watched them die, felt nothing. That's what scares me most. The nothing, the emptiness where feelings should be. I'm becoming a machine. Load, aim, fire, kill, move on, repeat. The crew's the same. Danny operates the gun like it's a job at a factory. Wilson drives with mechanical precision. Rodriguez loads shells without thinking. Harrison's learning fast, becoming just as numb. We're all becoming machines. It's the only way to survive. If you feel, you break, so you stop feeling. We lost another tank today. Sherman's march from 2nd Platoon. Tiger got them. One shot from 800 yards, punched through the frontal armor like paper. The tank brewed up instantly. Nobody got out. 4 men. I knew their names. Jackson, Kowalski, no relation, Martinez, Brown, and Shapiro. Now they're gone. We barely reacted. Just noted it and kept moving. Because if you stop to mourn every loss, you can't function. So you note it and keep moving. We're down to 11 tanks in the company. Started with 18, lost 7 in 11 days. The replacements keep coming though. New tanks roll in, new crews, fresh from England or the States, young, scared. They look at us like we know something they don't. We do. We know how easy it is to die, but we can't tell them that, can't break their spirit before they even fight. So we teach them what we can and hope they learn fast enough to survive. Most don't. I briefed 3 new TCs this morning, showed them how we operate, what to expect, how to stay alive. One of them asked how long I've been doing this. Since June, I said. Normandy. His eyes went wide. 6 months on the front line is ancient. Most guys don't last 6 weeks. I didn't tell him that. Just told him to keep moving, watch for 88s, take care of his crew. Same advice I always give. Half of them die anyway. I got another letter from Mary today. She's worried. Says my letters are getting shorter, less personal. She wants to know if I'm okay. I don't know how to answer that. Am I okay? I'm alive. I'm functional. I'm doing my job. But okay? No. I'm not okay. I'm broken inside, empty, numb. But I can't tell her that, can't burden her with the truth. So I'll write back and say I'm fine, just busy, just tired. I love you. I'm thinking of you. All true in a way, all lies in another. The real truth? I can't find the words. The weather's still cold, below 0 most days, snow almost constant. The inside of the tank is coated in frost. Everything metal is too cold to touch with bare skin. Wilson's frostbite is getting worse. 3 toes on each foot now, black at the tips. The medic says he needs to be evacuated. Wilson refuses, says he's not leaving the crew, says he can still drive. He can. But he's in pain. You can see it in his face, the way he moves, the way he grits his teeth when he climbs into the driver's seat. But he does it anyway, because we need him, because his crew is all he has. Danny hasn't spoken in 2 days. Not a word. He does his job, operates the gun, maintains equipment, eats, sleeps. But he doesn't talk. I don't push him. Everyone breaks different ways. As long as he can function, I let him be. Rodriguez prays, constantly, lips moving silently. Crossing himself, touching a rosary he keeps in his pocket. I don't know if it helps, but it doesn't hurt. Harrison is adapting fast. He's been with us 4 days and already he's getting good. Loads shells faster than Earl did. Doesn't panic under fire. Good kid. Hope he lives. We heard Bastonia's still holding. The 101st is still fighting. Patton's getting closer. We're getting closer. The siege might break soon if we can hold out, if we can keep pushing, if we don't all die first. Big ifs. The battalion lost half its strength. We started December with 54 tanks. We're down to 28. 26 tanks destroyed. 130 men dead or wounded in 11 days. This is the worst fighting since Normandy. Maybe worse. The hedgerows were brutal, but at least we were advancing, winning. Here we're just surviving, holding on. Hoping the German offensive runs out of steam. It has to. They can't keep this up. They're outrunning their supply lines, running low on fuel, low on ammunition, low on men. But they keep fighting, keep attacking, keep dying, same as us. I'm starting to think this war will never end. That we'll just keep killing each other until everyone's dead. Germans, Americans, all of us. Just keep killing until there's nobody left. Dark thoughts. dangerous thoughts. But I can't shake them. I should try to sleep. We're moving out in 3 hours. Another attack. Another village to take. Another chance to die. But I can't sleep. Mind won't shut off. Keeps replaying images. Mike dying. The German kid calling for his mother. The soldiers I machine gunned in the street, all the ghosts, they're with me now. All the dead, mine and theirs, following me, haunting me. Maybe they always will. Maybe that's the cost of surviving. You live, but you carry the dead forever. December 29th, 1944. Night. I got a letter from home today. My father, he's found work, part-time at a different plant, Briggs, making aircraft parts. Says the money's not as good, but it's something. Says my mother's doing okay, my sister's doing well in school. He writes about the neighborhood, about how empty it is, how many boys are gone, how many won't come home. Then he writes something I didn't expect. He says he's proud of me, says I'm doing my duty, says that's what matters. But then he says, when you come home, Tommy, you'll be different. The war will have changed you. That's okay. You're still my son. You're still welcome here. Whatever you've done, whatever you've seen, you're still part of this family. I read that paragraph 5 times. He knows. Somehow he knows what this is doing to me, what I'm becoming, and he's telling me it's okay, that I'm still his son. I cried. First time in days. Just sat in the tank and cried. Rodriguez pretended not to notice. Wilson found somewhere else to be. Danny just sat with me. Didn't say anything. Just sat. My father fought in the Great War. Trenches, gas, all of it. He never talks about it. Not once in my entire life have I heard him talk about the war. But he knows. He understands. And he's telling me I'll be okay. That I can come home. That there's still a place for me. I needed to hear that. Needed to know there's still a world beyond this. Still a future. Still home. It helped. More than he'll ever know. We attacked again today. Took a village. Lost a tank. 3 men wounded. 1 dead. The dead soldier was from 3rd Platoon. Kid named Henderson. 20 years old. From Texas. He'd been with the division for 3 weeks. An 88 got his tank. Penetrated the turret. Henderson was the gunner. He died instantly. The rest of the crew got out. Shaken, burned, but alive. We're getting better at this. Better at surviving. We know the tricks now. When to advance. When to retreat. How to read the battlefield. How to spot threats. Experience buys you time. Not safety, just time. But time is all we need. Time to win. Time to survive. Time to go home. The battalion commander came around tonight. Colonel somebody. I didn't catch his name. He thanked us. Said we're doing good work. Said the division is making a difference. Said Bastogne will be relieved soon. Maybe days. Then we can push the Germans back. End this offensive. The men perked up at that. The idea that this might be almost over. That we might have survived the worst of it. I want to believe him. But I've learned not to count on anything. The only thing certain is right now. This moment. We're alive right now. Tomorrow? Who knows? We're supposed to get a rest tomorrow. Pull back from maintenance and resupply. Maybe even hot showers if the quartermaster can set it up. The men are looking forward to it. A day without combat. A day to clean up, eat hot food, sleep without worrying about artillery. It sounds like heaven. I'll believe it when I see it. Danny spoke today. First words in 2 days. We're going to make it, Tommy. We're going to get through this. I don't know if he believes it or just needs to believe it, but I said, yeah, Danny, we're going to make it. Because sometimes you have to say it out loud. Make it real. We're going to make it. We have to. January 1st, 1945. New Year's Day, near Hauffalize. 1945, a new year. I'm still alive. We made it. 6 months of combat. Normandy to here, still breathing. But God, the cost. C Company lost 40% of its strength since December 16th. We started with 18 tanks. We're down to 9. 54 men, 32 left, 22 men dead or wounded in 16 days. I'm one of the few original crew members left in the company. Most of the tanks have completely new crews, replacements, kids who weren't here for Normandy, weren't here for the liberation, just arrived in time for the Bulge. I'm 22 years old. I feel ancient. We got relieved yesterday, pulled back to a rest area, village behind the lines. First time in 2 weeks we've been out of contact. Hot showers, clean clothes, hot food, real beds, sleep. It should feel good. It doesn't. It feels wrong, like we're abandoning the men still fighting, like we don't deserve to rest while others are dying. But we rest anyway, because if we don't, we'll break. And broken soldiers are useless. I slept for 14 hours straight, woke up sore and confused, didn't know where I was for a moment. Thought I was in the tank, thought we were under attack, took me 5 minutes to remember. Rest area, safe, no fighting. My hands were shaking, heart pounding, covered in sweat, shell shock, combat fatigue, whatever you want to call it. I've got it. We all do. Danny's not right. He jumps at loud noises. Can't sit with his back to a door. Doesn't sleep more than an hour at a time. Wilson's feet are bad. The medic says he's keeping his toes, but they're damaged. He'll have pain for the rest of his life. Arthritis. Sensitivity to cold. He's 19 years old. Rodriguez has nightmares. I hear him at night muttering in Spanish, thrashing, crying out. He wakes up and pretends he's fine, but his eyes tell the truth. Harrison's adapting. Maybe too well. The kid's become efficient at killing. No hesitation, no emotion, just does the job. He's 17, lied about his age to enlist. 17 years old and he's killed more men than he can count. What kind of world is this? Lieutenant Hendricks found me today. We talked. First real conversation in weeks. He told me I'm being promoted. Officially now. Tank Commander, Staff Sergeant Kowalski. It's mine. He also told me something else. I'm one of the best TCs in the battalion. Says I've got good instincts, keep my crew alive, get kills without taking unnecessary risks. Then he said something I didn't expect. Don't let this destroy you, Tommy. I've seen it happen. Good men who can't let go of what they've done, what they've seen. They come home, but they're not really there. They're still here, in their heads, fighting a war that's over. How do you let go? I asked. I don't know, he said. But you have to try, for your own sake, for Mary's sake. He knew about Mary. I must have mentioned her at some point. Does it get better? I asked. After the war? I don't know, he said again. Ask me in 10 years. Not encouraging, but honest. I appreciate honest. We held a memorial service today for the men of C Company who didn't make it. 22 names, 22 men I knew, 22 brothers. Mike Santini, Detroit, Michigan. Driver, Mary's Pride. The chaplain read their names, said a prayer. We sang Amazing Grace. I couldn't sing. Throat too tight, eyes too wet. Danny broke down, just collapsed, sobbing. Wilson and Rodriguez held him up, literally. He couldn't stand on his own. After the service, men came up to me, wanted to talk about their friends, their crews, the men they lost. I listened. That's all I could do. Listen and remember. Someone has to remember. I wrote letters today, to Mike's mother, to Earl, still in hospital, to Mary. Mike's mother's letter was the hardest. What do you say? I'm sorry your son died? He was a good man? I got him killed? I wrote about what a good friend he was, what a good soldier, how he died quickly, didn't suffer. Lies, but necessary lies. I wrote that he talked about her all the time, that he loved her, that he was proud to be her son. All true. I don't know if it'll help, but it's all I can give her. Earl's letter was easier, told him we're okay, told him to enjoy being safe, told him to live a good life. Don't feel guilty, we'll handle things here. Mary's letter was longest. I finally told her the truth, some of it anyway. Told her I'm different, told her the war's changed me, told her I'm not sure who I am anymore. Told her I'm scared of coming home, scared she won't recognize me, scared I won't know how to be normal. Told her I love her, told her I want to marry her, told her I'm fighting to get home to her, but told her I understand if she can't love who I've become. Understand if she wants to move on. Gave her an out. Don't know if she'll take it. Part of me hopes she does. She deserves better than a broken man who sees ghosts. Part of me hopes she doesn't, because she's all I have to hold on to. I mailed the letters. They're gone now. Can't take them back. We're moving out tomorrow. Back to the front. The offensive is turning. We're pushing now, driving the Germans back. This time we're winning. The crew's as ready as they'll ever be. Mary's Pride is repaired, refueled, rearmed. 70 rounds of 75mm. Full fuel tank. New tracks. Repainted turret. We're ready. As ready as anyone can be to go back into hell. New Year's resolution, survive, keep the crew alive, make it home. Simple goals, hard to achieve. But I'm going to try. 1945, this is the year we win, the year we go home. I have to believe that. Have to. January 3rd, 1945, evening. Advancing toward Hofeliz. We're attacking, Allied counteroffensive, pushing the Germans back, taking back the ground they took in December. The momentum shifted. We can feel it. They're retreating, not routing, not breaking, falling back in good order, fighting hard, making us pay for every mile. But falling back, we're winning. Doesn't feel like winning, feels like more dying. Different direction, same result. We took a village today, small place, can't even remember the name. They're all blending together. Stone houses, church, town square, same as 100 others. The Germans had dug in. Anti-tank guns, machine guns, infantry in the buildings. We had to clear them out. The fighting was brutal, house to house, room to room. We supported with the tank, firing HE into buildings, collapsing walls, driving the Germans out. But we couldn't follow the infantry inside. Too dangerous. Narrow streets, limited mobility. Perfect for Panzerfausts. So we stayed in the square and fired. Provided covering fire while the infantry did the ugly work. I watched them through the periscope. American soldiers moving through buildings. Grenades. Rifle fire. Screaming. Fighting and dying to take a village that means nothing except it's one step closer to Germany. We lost 3 men taking that village. Infantry guys from 84th Division. I didn't know their names, but I watched them die. One took a grenade. Just gone. One moment fighting, next moment pieces. Another got shot in a doorway. Fell back into the street. Medic tried to reach him. Machine gun fire kept him pinned down. The wounded soldier bled out while we watched. The third died in my sight. German soldier shot him from a window. I saw the muzzle flash, saw the American fall. I put a 75mm HE shell through that window. The building collapsed. Felt good. Shouldn't have, but it did. Revenge. Justice. Call it what you want. The German soldier killed one of ours. I killed him back. Eye for an eye. We're all going blind. The crew's functioning well, like a machine. Everyone knows their job. No wasted motion, no hesitation. Danny's back to talking, not like before. Quieter. More focused. But he communicates. Wilson's driving through the pain. His feet are wrapped in so many bandages he can barely fit them in his boots. But he drives. Never complains. Rodriguez loads fast and accurate. Harrison's learned quickly. They work together smoothly. Loader and assistant loader. Efficient. We're a good crew. Maybe the best I could ask for. Not the crew I started with. That crew's gone. Dead or evacuated. But this crew, they're my brothers now. And I'll do everything I can to keep them alive. We destroyed 2 German tanks today. Mark IVs. Older models but still deadly. Caught them on a road. Flanked them. Destroyed both from side shots. Clean kills. Crews bailed out. Hands up. Surrendering. We took them prisoner. Sent them to the rear. They looked relieved. Genuinely relieved. The war's over for them. They survived. They get to go home eventually. Lucky bastards. The German offensive is falling apart. We can see it. Abandoned equipment on the roads, dead vehicles, supply trucks out of fuel, artillery pieces without ammunition. They're running out of everything, just like intelligence said they would. But they're still fighting, still killing, still dangerous. Never underestimate a wounded animal. We heard Bastogne was relieved. Patton's Third Army broke through. The 101st is saved. The siege is over. The men cheered when they heard. Actual cheering. First time in weeks I've heard anything like joy. We did it. Held the line. Bought time. Let Patton get through. Saved the 101st. Cost us thousands of men, hundreds of tanks, rivers of blood. But we did it. That has to mean something. Has to. I got mail today. Letter from Mary. Dated December 20th. 2 weeks to reach me. She writes about Christmas, how she went to Mass and prayed for me, how she misses me, how she's counting the days until I come home. She doesn't mention my last letter, the one where I told her the truth, where I gave her an out. Maybe she hasn't received it yet. Mail's slow, takes weeks sometimes. Or maybe she has and she's thinking about it, deciding if she can love a broken man. I don't blame her either way. I wrote her back, told her I love her, told her I'm okay, told her we're winning now. Might be home by summer if we keep pushing. Didn't mention the men I killed today, the village we took, the nightmares I have every time I close my eyes. Just told her I love her. Because I do. Even if I don't know how to feel much else anymore. Tomorrow we attack again. Another village, another fight, another chance to die, but also another step toward Germany, another step toward ending this, another step toward home. I can do this. We can do this. Just have to keep pushing, keep fighting, keep surviving. One more day, then one more after that, then one more. Until it's over. Until we win. Until I can go home and try to figure out how to be human again. January 5th, 1945. Field Hospital, Liège, Belgium. I'm wounded, not bad, not good, somewhere in between. Mary's pride is gone, destroyed. The crew survived, most of us. I'm writing this from a hospital bed, my legs in a cast, shrapnel wounds in my side and shoulder. The doctors say I'll recover, say I might go home. Might. Let me write what happened while I still remember, while it's still clear, before the morphine makes everything fuzzy. We were attacking, moving through a forest, trees everywhere, poor tank country, limited visibility, limited maneuverability. But orders are orders. We were advancing down a trail, Mary's pride in the lead, 2 other tanks following, infantry somewhere behind us. I was in the commander's cupola, looking through the periscope, watching for threats, didn't see the Panzerfaust team until they fired. The rocket came from the left, 40 yards, maybe less, hit the turret side, not the thickest armor but thick enough. Should have been. Wasn't. The rocket penetrated, shaped charge, melts through armor like butter. The explosion inside the turret was, I can't describe it. Noise, heat, pressure, everything at once while I was thrown back, slammed into the turret ring, my leg twisted, something stabbed into my side, shrapnel, fragments of armor, metal that shouldn't be inside a tank. My ears rang, couldn't hear anything, couldn't see, smoke everywhere, fire starting, training kicked in, get out, get the crew out. I tried to move. My leg wouldn't work, broken, or dislocated, or something, just wouldn't work. I dragged myself toward the cupola hatch, pulled myself up. My shoulder screamed. Something was wrong with it too, but I kept moving. Had to get out before the ammunition cooked off. Danny was already moving. He grabbed me, pulled me. We went through the cupola together, fell onto the engine deck, rolled off into the snow. Rodriguez came out next. Then Wilson. Harrison didn't make it. The loader. The kid from Tennessee, 17 years old. He was closest to where the rocket penetrated. The blast got him. He was gone before the rest of us even moved. We crawled away from the tank, 50 yards, 100. As far as we could before the ammunition started cooking off, rounds exploding inside the turret. The 75mm shells going off, fireworks show, deadly and beautiful. Mary's pride burning. My tank, my home for 7 months, gone. The German Panzerfaust team tried to run. Infantry got them. I heard the rifle fire through the ringing in my ears. Saw them fall. Good. Medics came up, checked us over. Wilson was okay. Shaken but okay. Rodriguez had some cuts, minor. Danny was fine. I was the worst. Broken leg, shrapnel in my side and shoulder. Maybe some internal bleeding. They couldn't tell. They loaded me on a stretcher, put me in an ambulance, drove me to the rear. I kept asking about Harrison. Nobody would tell me. Just said to stay calm, said I was going to be okay. I knew what that meant. Harrison was dead, 17 years old, with us for less than 2 weeks, dead in a forest in Belgium, because I led us down that trail, because I didn't see the Panzerfaust team, because I made the wrong call. Another one on me. The ambulance took me to a field hospital. They triaged me, stabilized me, gave me morphine, did surgery, removed the shrapnel, set my leg. I woke up here, in a bed, clean sheets, warm, safe. While my crew is still out there, still fighting, I don't deserve this. A doctor came by this morning, said I was lucky, said if the shrapnel had been a few inches different, I'd be dead, said my war might be over, might get sent to England for more treatment. Then maybe home, lucky. Mike's dead, Harrison's dead, 22 men from C Company dead. But I'm lucky. I don't feel lucky. A chaplain visited, asked if I wanted to talk, if I needed anything. I asked him to write letters for me. My hands too shaky, shoulder too sore. Dictated letters to Harrison's family. To Danny, Rodriguez, Wilson. To Mary. The letter to Harrison's family was torture. What do you say? Sorry your son died under my command. Sorry I got him killed. I said he was brave. That he died quickly. That he did his duty. All true. All insufficient. The letter to the crew was easier. Told them to stay alive. Told them to watch out for each other. Told them I'm sorry I'm not there. Told them they're the best crew I could have asked for. The letter to Mary was the hardest. I told her everything. No more lies. No more protecting her from the truth. Told her I'm wounded. Not life-threatening, but enough to maybe come home. Told her about Mike, about Harrison, about all the men I've lost, all the men I've killed. Told her I have nightmares, that I jump at loud noises, that I don't know if I'll ever be normal again. Told her I love her, that I want to marry her, that I want to try to build a life, but told her I'll understand if she can't do it, if she can't love what I've become, if she needs to move on. Gave her an honest choice, not based on the boy who left Detroit, based on the man who's coming back. If he's even still a man, if there's enough left to call human. The chaplain wrote it all down, didn't judge, didn't offer platitudes, just wrote. Good man. The morphine's making me tired, fuzzy, but I wanted to write this while I could, while I remember. Mary's pride is gone. 7 months from Normandy to here. Survived hedgerows and breakouts in the Bulge. Finally got us in a forest in Belgium. She was a good tank. Kept us alive longer than we had any right to expect. Named after the woman I love. Hope that wasn't bad luck. Hope Mary's still there when I get home. Hope there's still something in me worth loving. The ward's quiet tonight. Other wounded men sleeping. Some moaning in pain. Some crying out in nightmares. We're all broken here. Bodies or minds or both. But we're alive. That's something. Maybe it's enough. Maybe. January 8th, 1945. Hospital, Liège. Danny came to visit today. I didn't know he was coming. Didn't know he could. Thought he'd be with the division, still fighting. But there he was, standing next to my bed in his dirty uniform, helmet in his hands, looking uncomfortable. Hey, Tommy, he said. Hey, Danny, I said. We stared at each other for a minute. Then he pulled up a chair and sat down. Rodriguez and Wilson send their regards, he said. They wanted to come, but couldn't get leave. They okay? Yeah, we got a new tank, new crew joining us. Replacements. New tank commander. Lieutenant from 2nd Platoon, guy named Patterson. Seems okay. I nodded. Didn't know what to say. My crew, but not my crew anymore. They'd moved on. Had to. War doesn't wait. Harrison? I asked, even though I knew. Killed instantly, Danny said. Didn't suffer. Same lie everyone tells. But I appreciated it anyway. Rodriguez took it hard, Danny continued. Feels guilty. Thinks he should have been faster loading. Should have been the one in that position when the rocket hit. That's stupid, I said. Yeah, that's what I told him. Didn't help. Survivor's guilt. We all have it. Wondering why we lived when others died. Looking for reasons, for logic, in something that has no reason, just chance, luck, fate, whatever you want to call it. Danny leaned forward. Listen, Tommy, what happened? That wasn't your fault. We all know it. You're the best TC in the company. You kept us alive longer than we had any right to expect. Mike, he knew the risks. Harrison, he knew the risks. We all do. Doesn't make it easier, I said. No, Danny agreed. It doesn't. We sat in silence for a while. They're saying you might go home, Danny said finally. Maybe. Doctors aren't sure yet. Leg might heal enough to return to duty. Might not. What do you want? Honest question. I thought about it. What did I want? To go home? To stay and finish the fight? To keep the crew alive? To see Mary again? I don't know, I said. Part of me wants to get as far from this war as possible. Never see another tank, never hear another shell. Just go home and pretend none of this happened. And the other part? Feels like I'm abandoning you, abandoning the mission, running away while other men finish what we started. Danny shook his head. You're not running away, Tommy. You've done your part, more than your part. You've earned the right to go home. So did Mike. So did Harrison. They didn't get the choice. No, Danny said quietly. They didn't. More silence. How's the fighting? I asked. We're winning, pushing them back, retaking everything they took in December. It's slow, it's bloody, but we're winning. Good. The division's being pulled back soon. Refit, rest, replacements. Then we're going into Germany. Final push. End this thing. Germany. The final act. Defeat them on their own soil. Make sure they can never do this again. You be careful, I said. Watch for 88s. Don't trust anything that looks easy. I know, Tommy. You taught me well. He stood up. Visiting hours were ending. I should go. Need to get back before they miss me. Danny? Yeah? You're going to make it. You're going to survive this and go home and have a good life. You hear me? He smiled. Small, sad smile. You too, Tommy. You too. We shook hands. Then he left. I watched him walk away. Young man in a dirty uniform, heading back to war. Back to killing and dying and all the rest of it. I wanted to call him back, tell him to desert, run, hide, anything but go back. But I didn't. Because the war has to be finished. Germany has to be defeated. And men like Danny have to do it. Just wish it didn't cost so much. I got another letter from Mary today, written December 28th. She'd received my Christmas letter. She writes about how she understands I'm different, how she knows the war has changed me, how she doesn't care. She says she loves me, not the boy I was, me. Whoever I am now, whatever I've become. She says she'll wait, however long it takes. Whether I come home in a month or a year or 5 years, she'll wait. She says we'll figure it out together. The nightmares, the memories, the scars, together. She says I'm not giving her an now. I'm not pushing her away. I'm stuck with her. I read that letter 10 times, then I cried. First time in days I've cried, and it wasn't from pain or grief or fear. It was from relief, from hope, from love. She still wants me. Broken, damaged, haunted. She still wants me. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can go home. Maybe I can build a life. Not the life I planned, not the boy who left Detroit, but a life. With her. Whatever that looks like. It's something to hold on to, something to fight for, something to survive for. The doctors came by this afternoon, said the surgery went well. Shrapnel's out. Wounds are clean, no infection, legs broken in 2 places. Clean breaks. We'll heal. But it'll take months. Physical therapy, maybe a limp, maybe some lingering pain. But I'll walk again. Shoulders dislocated and torn. They put it back in place, wrapped it up, said it'll heal but might never be 100%. I can live with that. They're sending me to England tomorrow, hospital in Southampton, better facilities, more specialized care. After that, they don't know. Might return to duty once I'm healed, might get medical discharge, might get assigned to a training unit, teaching new crews. Don't know. Won't know for months. All I know is I'm leaving Belgium. Leaving the front, leaving the war, at least temporarily. Should feel good. Feels strange. Like I'm between 2 worlds. Not a soldier anymore. Not a civilian yet. Just suspended. Waiting. The war's still going on. Men are still fighting. Still dying. The division's still pushing forward. And I'm in a hospital bed. Safe. Warm. Fed. Alive. While they're out there, the guilt is overwhelming. But the chaplain came by again, talked to me about it. He said survivor's guilt is normal, said all soldiers feel it, said it doesn't mean I failed, doesn't mean I didn't do enough, said sometimes God has other plans. Sometimes you survive for a reason. I don't know if I believe in God anymore. Not after what I've seen, not after all the death, but I want to believe in purpose, want to believe surviving means something, want to believe I can honor the dead by living well, by taking care of the family I'll build with Mary, by being a good man in a world that needs good men. Maybe that's enough. Maybe. I'm tired. The morphine makes everything soft around the edges, fuzzy, warm. Tomorrow I leave for England, leave Belgium, leave the continent, leave the war behind, at least physically. Mentally, the war's coming with me, the memories, the nightmares, the ghosts, Mike, Harrison, Morrison, Wilson from C Company, Henderson, all the others. They're part of me now. Forever. But I'm gonna try to heal, try to live, try to be worthy of their sacrifice, try to be the man Mary thinks I am, try to build something good from all this destruction. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try, for them, for her, for myself, going to try. January 15th, 1945. Hospital, Southampton, England. I'm in England, across the channel, away from the fighting. The ship ride over was rough seas, crowded with wounded, men in bunks, on stretchers, some just sitting on the deck, wrapped in blankets. We were all quiet. Nobody talked much. What was there to say? We all knew we were the lucky ones, wounded but alive, going to safety while our friends stayed behind. Guilt hung in the air like smoke. The hospital here is better, cleaner, more staff, real beds with sheets, food that doesn't come from cans, windows with actual glass. Feels like civilization. Feels wrong after months of war. My leg's healing. Slowly. The doctors say 6 to 8 weeks in a cast, then physical therapy, then we'll see. The shoulder's worse. Might never fully heal. Might always have limited range of motion. Might always hurt. Small price for being alive. I can walk with crutches. They let me move around the ward, talk to other wounded men. Most are heading home. Medical discharges. War's over for them. I talked to a guy from 3rd Armored Division today. Tank commander like me. Lost his tank to a mine. Lost his loader and driver. He got out with burns and a broken back. He'll never walk right again. Never work a normal job. 24 years old, and his life's permanently changed. But he's alive. Going home to his wife in Ohio. They'll figure it out, he says. I believe him. You have to. Another guy, infantry sergeant from 29th Division, lost his arm. Clean off at the elbow. He jokes about it. Says now he doesn't have to work as hard. Says his wife will have to do all the heavy lifting. But his eyes are dead. Hollow? He's not okay. None of us are. But we joke anyway. Because the alternative is screaming. I wrote more letters today. To my parents, to Helen, to Danny and the crew. Told my parents I'm wounded but okay. Coming home probably. Don't know when, but probably soon. Told them not to worry. I'm safe. I'm healing. Didn't tell them about the nightmares. About waking up screaming. About the tremors in my hands. About the way loud noises make me dive for cover. They'll see soon enough. Helen's letter was easier. Told her about England, about the hospital, about how I'm looking forward to coming home. Asked about her boyfriend Richard. Asked about school. Asked about normal things. Tried to be the big brother, not the broken soldier. The crew's letter was hardest. What do you say to men still fighting while you're safe? Told them I'm proud of them. Told them to watch out for each other. Told them the war's almost over. Just hang on a little longer. Told them I'll see them stateside when it's all done. We'll get together. Drink beer. Tell lies about our heroism. Don't know if I'll see them again. Don't know if they'll survive. Hope they do. God, I hope they do. Mary's letter took me all day to write. Keep starting, stopping, crossing out, starting over. How do you tell someone you love them but you're terrified of coming home? That you want to see them but you're scared they'll be disappointed? That you don't know how to be normal anymore? Finally just wrote from the heart. Told her I love her. Told her I'm scared. Told her I need her but I'm afraid of burdening her. Told her we'll figure it out together. However long it takes. Whatever it looks like. Told her I want to marry her. As soon as possible. Soon as I'm home. Don't want to wait. Life's too short. I've seen too many men die waiting for tomorrow. Asked her to start planning. Set a date. I'll be there. Crutches or not. Cast or not. I'll be there. Mailed it before I could second guess myself. Now I wait. Wait for her response, wait to heal, wait for orders, wait for the war to end. Always waiting. The news from the front is good. Allies pushing into Germany, Russians advancing from the east. The Reich is collapsing, might be over by spring, might be over by summer, soon, one way or another. And then what? Then we go home, pick up the pieces, try to rebuild, pretend we're the same people who left. We're not, we never will be. But maybe that's okay. Maybe we can build something new from who we've become. I hope so. I have to hope so. The nightmares are worse here, worse than in Belgium. Like my mind finally has permission to process everything I've been suppressing. I dream about Mike, about his blood on my hands, about his last words. I dream about Harrison, about the explosion, about not being able to save him. I dream about the German soldiers I killed, their faces, their screams. I dream about Mary's pride burning, about being trapped inside, about the ammunition cooking off. I wake up sweating, shaking, sometimes screaming. The nurses are patient. They've seen it before. They know. One of them, older woman named Sarah, sits with me sometimes. Doesn't say much, just sits there until the shaking stops. Small kindness means everything. The chaplain here, Father Murphy, Irish, talks to me about guilt, about forgiveness, about moving forward. He says God understands what we had to do, says there's redemption, says we're not damned for fighting a just war. I want to believe him. Some days I do, some days I don't. Today's a don't day, but tomorrow might be different. That's what I tell myself. Tomorrow might be different. Just have to keep going, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Heal the body. Try to heal the mind. Hope the soul follows. January 18th, 1945, Southampton Hospital. I got Mary's letter today. She got my proposal. She said yes, yes. She said yes. The wedding's set for June 16th, 1945, 6 months from now. St. Stanislaus Church in Detroit. Father Kowalski officiating. She's been planning. With my mother, with Agnes. They're putting it together. The dress, the flowers, the reception. All I have to do is show up and survive until then. She writes about the future, about the apartment they found for us, 2-bedroom, near my parents, affordable, about how her father knows a guy who's hiring at Chrysler, good job, union, benefits, if I want it, about how we'll start a family, not right away, take our time, get settled, but eventually, kids, a house, normal life. She writes like it's certain, like there's no doubt, like we're going to make it. I want her confidence, want her certainty, but I can't quite reach it. Too many ghosts between me and that future. Still, I wrote back, told her yes, told her I'll be there, told her I love her, told her thank you for waiting, for believing, for loving me anyway, told her I'll do my best to heal, to be a good husband, to build that life with her. That's all I can promise. My best. Hope it's enough. The doctor came by today. Good news and bad news. Good news, the leg's healing well. Cast can come off in 4 weeks. Physical therapy after that, should have full mobility eventually. Bad news, the shoulder's not healing right. Torn rotator cuff. Might need another surgery. Might never be 100%, which means probably medical discharge. Probably going home. Should be happy. Should be relieved. I am. I think. It's hard to tell anymore. Emotions are complicated. Part of me wants to go home, desperately, see Mary, see my family, leave the war behind. Part of me feels like I'm abandoning my duty, like I should be there when we push into Germany, when we finish this. The doctor says I'm no good to anyone with a bum shoulder, says I've done my part, says it's time to go home. Intellectually, I know he's right. Emotionally, I feel like a coward. The ward's filling up with more wounded, fresh from the continent. From the push into Germany, the fighting's intense, casualties are high. I listen to their stories, what they've seen, what they've done. Makes me grateful I'm here, in a hospital bed, safe. Makes me feel guilty for feeling grateful. It's a cycle. Guilt, relief, guilt again. The chaplain says it's normal. Says it'll fade with time. I hope he's right. I talked to the infantry sergeant today, the one who lost his arm. Name's Patterson, Frank Patterson. He told me about his wife, about how scared he is to see her, about how he doesn't know if she'll still want him like this. I told him about Mary, about my fears. We compared notes. Turned out we're scared of the same things. Being a burden, not being the man we were, disappointing the people who love us. But they love us, Frank said. Not our arms, not our legs, not our perfect bodies, they love us. You believe that? I asked. I have to, he said. Otherwise, what's the point? Good answer. I'm trying to believe it too. We're not our wounds, not our scars, not our nightmares. We're the men who survived, who did our duty, who paid the price. And the women who love us, they know what they're getting. They're choosing us anyway. That's love. Real love. Not the easy kind, the hard kind, the kind that matters. I can live with that. I can try anyway, Rodriguez wrote me. Letter caught up from Belgium. He's doing well. New crews working out. They're in Germany now. Crossed the border last week. He says it's strange. Fighting in Germany. Enemy territory. The land of the enemy. But the people look the same as Belgians. Same as French. Same as anyone. Just people. Scared. Trying to survive. Makes you think. He says Danny's doing okay. Handling things. Still quiet but functional. Wilson's been evacuated. Frostbite finally got too bad. Lost 3 toes. Heading home. So the crew's scattered now. Me in England. Wilson heading stateside. Danny and Rodriguez still fighting with replacements. Mary's Pride crew is gone. Dispersed. Maybe we'll meet up after the war. Maybe not. But we'll always have that bond, that connection. We survived together, bled together, watched friends die together, brothers, for life. I hope they make it. Hope they all come home. Hope someday we can sit around a table and drink and remember the good times. If there were any good times. Maybe we'll make up some good times, lie to ourselves, make the war seem better than it was. Veterans do that, I've heard. Romanticize it, make it noble, glorious. Maybe we will too, or maybe we'll just sit in silence, understanding what we can't say. Either way, I hope we get the chance. January 25th, 1945, Southampton Hospital. The Bulge is over. Officially. The German salient is eliminated. Front lines restored. Crisis ended. It took 40 days. 40 days of hell. 40 days of the worst fighting since D-Day. 19,000 American dead. 47,000 wounded. 23,000 missing or captured. 89,000 American casualties total. The numbers are staggering, incomprehensible. Each one is a person, a son, a brother, a father, a friend. Each one is Mike. Each one is Harrison. 89,000 of them. And for what? We ended up where we started, same lines, same positions, except now we're pushing forward, into Germany, toward the end. So maybe it was worth it. Maybe buying those 40 days mattered. Maybe it shortened the war. I hope so. God, I hope so. Because if all that death was for nothing, I don't know how to live with it. The 2nd Armored Division earned a Presidential Unit Citation, the whole division, for distinguished performance during the Bulge. We held the line, stopped the German advance, turned the tide. We did our job. The citation will come with a ribbon, blue with red and white stripes. Wear it on the uniform. Show we were there. Like I could forget. Like any of us could forget. I got letters today. From my parents, from Helen, from Earl. My father writes about the job at Chrysler. Says it's waiting for me. Good pay. Good benefits. Union job. Secure. Says all I have to do is come home and it's mine. He writes about how proud he is. How everyone in the neighborhood is proud. How they're planning a party for when I get back. A hero's welcome. I don't feel like a hero. I feel like a guy who got lucky, who survived when better men didn't. But I'll smile and accept their praise and try not to correct them, because they need to believe it meant something, need to believe their sons died for something noble. And who am I to take that from them? My mother writes about the wedding, about helping Mary plan, about how beautiful it's going to be, about how happy she is, how happy my father is, how they can't wait to see me, about how much they've missed me. I've missed them too. more than I can say. Helen writes about school, about Richard, about how she's graduating this spring and thinking about college, about how she wants to be a nurse, help people, make a difference. The wars changed her too, changed everyone, made us all think about purpose, about service, about what matters. Good kid, she'll do well. Earl's letter is from a hospital in New York. He made it stateside. He's healing. The eye's permanently damaged, but he can see. Won't ever be perfect, but good enough. He's getting a medical discharge. Purple Heart. Going home to Virginia. Going to marry that girl he writes to. Start a farm. He says he's done with tanks. Done with war. Done with cities. Just wants quiet. Peace. Land to work. I understand. I feel the same way. Just want normal. Boring. Safe. Never thought I'd crave boring. But here we are. The cost comes off next week, then physical therapy, then evaluation, then probably home, probably by March, maybe sooner, home before spring, home before the wedding, home before the war ends probably, going home while men are still fighting, still dying. The guilt never stops, but I'm learning to live with it, learning to accept it, part of who I am now. I carry the dead, Mike, Harrison, all of them. Carry them forever. But I also carry the responsibility to live well, to make their deaths mean something by building something good, a life with Mary, a family, work that matters, days of peace. That's how I honor them. Not by dying with them, by living for them. At least that's what I tell myself. Some days I believe it. Some days I don't. Today's a believe day. Tomorrow might be different. But today, I believe. February 3rd, 1945. Southampton, hospital. I got Mary's answer to my proposal letter. She said yes. Said it again even though she already said it. Said she can't wait. Said June feels too far away. Said she wishes we could get married tomorrow. Said she doesn't care about my scars. Doesn't care about my nightmares. Doesn't care that I'm broken. Said she loves me. All of me. Whatever's left. Whatever I've become. Said we'll heal together, build a life together, figure it out together. Together. I read that word over and over. Together. Not me alone carrying everything. Together. Shared burden. Shared life. Maybe I can do this. Maybe we can do this. I think we can. The cast came off yesterday. My leg looks wrong. Thinner, paler, weak. But it works. The bones healed straight, no infection, full range of motion mostly. Physical therapy starts tomorrow, relearning how to walk properly, building strength, getting mobility back. The therapist says 3 weeks, 3 weeks of hard work, and I'll be walking normally. Then evaluation, then orders, then probably home. 3 weeks, 21 days. I can do 21 days. I can do anything for 21 days. The shoulder's still bad. Might need surgery, but they're going to wait. See if it heals on its own. Give it time. Time. That's what everything needs now. Time to heal. Time to process. Time to become human again. I have time. For the first time in months, I have time. No attacks planned. No missions. No immediate threat of death. Just time. It's disorienting. After months of urgency, of living moment to moment, suddenly having time feels wrong. But I'm adjusting, learning to slow down, learning to breathe, learning to be a person again, not just a soldier. It's hard. Harder than I expected. Everything's muted here. Safe, controlled, no chaos, no violence, no death. My body should relax, should appreciate the safety. Instead, it's constantly alert, waiting for the attack that never comes. The nurses say it's normal, say it'll fade, say my nervous system just needs time to reset, time again. Everything needs time. I wrote letters today. To my parents, telling them I'll be home soon. To Helen, asking about graduation plans. To Mary, telling her I love her. To Danny and Rodriguez, wishing them safety, wishing them home. To Earl, congratulating him on his engagement. To the families of Mike and Harrison, honoring their memory. Writing helps. Connects me to the world beyond this hospital. Reminds me there's life waiting. Life I get to live. Not everyone did, but I do. So I'm going to live it. Going to marry Mary. Going to work at Chrysler. Going to build a house. Raise kids. live a boring, beautiful, normal life. Going to wake up every day and appreciate it, every boring second of it, because I know how precious it is, how easily it could have been taken away, how many men didn't get this chance. So I'll take it. For them, for me, for Mary. I'll take this life and I'll make it count. 21 days until evaluation, then home, then Mary, then forever. I can do this. We can do this. Together. February 10th, 1945. Transport ship, English Channel. I'm going home. Medical discharge. Honorable. Purple Heart. Presidential. Unit citation. Campaign medals. All the ribbons and paperwork that say I did my part. The war's not over. Won't be for months probably. But my war is over. Going home. Should feel triumphant. Should feel proud. Mostly feel relieved. And guilty. And scared. But also hopeful. For the first time in months. Actually hopeful. The ship's crowded with wounded. Some worse than me. Some better. All going home. We don't talk much. What's there to say? We all know. We're the lucky ones. The ones who survived. The ones who get to go home. I'm standing on deck. Watching the English coast disappear. Watching the French coast in the distance. Somewhere over there, men are fighting. Danny, Rodriguez, thousands of others. Still fighting. Still dying. While I'm on a ship, heading home. The guilt is crushing. But I'm learning to breathe through it. I did my job. 7 months on the front line. Normandy to the Bulge. I did my part. Now someone else's turn. Now my turn to go home. To heal. To build. The water's rough. Gray and cold. Matches my mood. But beyond the gray, beyond the cold, there's Detroit. There's Mary. There's home. There's a future. I'm going to reach for it. Going to grab it. Going to hold on tight and never let go. Going to marry Mary in 4 months. June 16th. St. Stanislaus Church. Going to work at Chrysler. Build engines. Use my hands for creation, not destruction. Going to rent that apartment. Make it a home. Fill it with life. Maybe kids someday. Teach them about peace, about kindness, about the cost of war. Make sure they never forget. Make sure it never happens again. That's the dream, the hope, the future. Don't know if I can achieve it. Don't know if I'm capable anymore. But I'm going to try. For Mike, for Harrison, for all the men who didn't make it, for Mary, for my family, for myself. Going to try. The ship's moving steadily west, away from Europe, away from war, toward home, toward life. I can see my hands shaking as I write this, from cold, from emotion, from everything. But they're my hands, still working, still capable. I can build with these hands, can hold Mary with these hands, can create life with these hands. They've taken life, too much life, but they can give life too. Balance, maybe that's the key. Balance the destruction with creation, the death with life. Maybe that's how you make peace with what you've done. By doing more good than harm, by building more than you destroyed. I don't know, I'm making this up as I go. No instruction manual for life after war, no guidebook for healing, just have to figure it out. One day at a time. Some days will be hard, some days I'll break. Some days the nightmares will win, but other days will be good. Other days I'll laugh. Other days I'll remember what hope feels like. And slowly, maybe, the good days will outnumber the bad. Maybe. That's all I have. Maybe. But it's enough. It has to be. The sun setting, red and orange across the gray water. Beautiful despite everything. Life's like that. Beautiful despite everything. Despite the pain, despite the loss, despite the scars, still beautiful, still worth living. I'm going home, going to marry Mary, going to build a life, going to carry my ghosts, my memories, my scars, but going to live anyway, in spite of them, because of them, going to honor the dead by living fully. That's my mission now, my duty. Live, love, build, create, remember. Simple mission, hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm going to do it, starting now. February 25th, 1945, Detroit, Michigan. Home. I'm home. Stepped off the train this morning. Union Station, Detroit. My family was waiting, my father, mother, Helen, all of them. Mary was there too, standing a little apart, nervous, beautiful. I saw her and everything else disappeared. The crowd, the noise, the world, just Mary. I walked toward her, limping a little, shoulder still stiff, but walking. She ran to me, threw her arms around me, held on tight. We stood there, in the middle of Union Station, holding each other while people streamed past. "You're home," she said. "I'm home," I said. And just like that, the war felt far away, still there, still part of me, but distant, because I was home, with Mary, where I belonged. My family embraced me, my mother crying, my father trying not to cry, Helen talking a mile a minute about school and Richard and the wedding plans. Normal. So beautifully, wonderfully normal. We drove home, my father driving, my mother and Helen in the back, Mary sitting next to me holding my hand. The city looked the same, different, I don't know. Everything's familiar but strange, like I'm seeing it for the first time, or through new eyes, eyes that have seen too much, but it's still Detroit, still home. We had dinner at my parents' house. My mother made pierogies, all 12 kinds. The whole neighborhood came by. Everyone wanted to welcome me home. Thank me. Call me a hero. I smiled, shook hands, accepted their praise, didn't correct them. They need to believe it was worth it, need to believe their sons and brothers didn't die for nothing. So I let them believe, let them call me hero, let them celebrate, even though I don't feel like a hero, feel like a survivor. Lucky. Nothing more. But that's okay. They need their hero. I can be that for them. Mary and I took a walk after dinner, just the two of us, down Woodward Avenue, through the old neighborhood. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I don't know," I said. Honest answer, only answer I have. "That's okay," she said. "We'll figure it out." We, that word again, together. We walked in silence for a while, just being together, just existing. "The nightmares," I said finally. "They're bad. I might wake up screaming. I don't know what I might do." "Okay," she said. "I'm not the same person who left," I said. "I know," she said. "I've killed people, Mary, a lot of people." "I know," she said again. "And you still want this? Still want me?" She stopped walking, turned to face me, took both my hands. "Tommy Kowalski, I love you, not who you were, who you are, right now, scars and nightmares and all of it. I love you." "Why?" I asked, genuinely didn't understand. "Because you're you, because you're good, because you did what you had to do and you survived and you came home to me. That's all I need." I wanted to argue, wanted to explain all the reasons she shouldn't love me, all the ways I'm broken, all the darkness inside me, but she kissed me, and the arguments died. Maybe she's right. Maybe love doesn't need reasons. Maybe it just is. Maybe that's enough. We walked home, talked about the wedding, about the apartment, about the future, normal things, beautiful things, things that have nothing to do with war, and for the first time in months I could picture it, could see the future, could believe in it. Not perfect, not easy, but possible, real. I'm writing this in my childhood bedroom, my old bed, my old desk, everything where I left it. But I'm different. Everything's different. The boy who left this room is gone, dead in a Belgian forest, or a French hedgerow, or somewhere along the way. A man came back, harder, scarred, carrying ghosts, but still capable of love, still capable of hope, still capable of building a life. That's what matters. Tomorrow I start physical therapy, rebuild my shoulder, get stronger. Next week I start at Chrysler, learn the job, build engines, use my hands for something constructive. In 4 months I marry Mary, start our life, build our future. One day at a time, one step at a time. That's all I can do, all any of us can do. Live. Despite the pain, despite the memories, despite everything, live. For Mike, for Harrison, for all of them, for Mary, for my family, for myself. Live. That's my mission now. My duty, my purpose, and I'm going to do it. Starting now. Starting home. Final entry, June 16th, 1945. Wedding day. I'm married. Staff Sergeant Thomas Kowalski is now just Thomas Kowalski. Husband. Soon to be father, maybe. Regular guy. The wedding was beautiful. St. Stanislaus Church, packed with family and neighbors. Mary in a white dress that took my breath away. My father as best man, since Mike didn't make it home. Earl came. Traveled from Virginia. Still has trouble with the eye, but he's doing well. Married his girl last month. Brought her. Nice woman. Danny made it too. Got leave. Came all the way from Germany. War ended in May. He survived. All of it. He's heading home for good next month. Rodriguez is still overseas. Occupation duty. But he sent a letter. Congratulations. Good wishes. Said he'll visit when he's stateside. Wilson's in Iowa. Lost those toes, but he's okay. Working the farm with his father. Says he never wants to see another tank as long as he lives. I understand that. The ceremony was short. Traditional. Father Kowalski did a good job. Talked about love and commitment and building a life together. Talked about forgiveness. About healing. About moving forward. Felt like he was talking directly to me. Maybe he was. I said my vows. Promised to love Mary, to honor her, to cherish her, for better or worse, in sickness and health, all of it. Meant every word. She said her vows. Same promises, same commitment. And then we were married, husband and wife. The reception was loud, happy, people dancing, drinking, celebrating. The whole neighborhood showed up. Everyone wanted to celebrate. The war's over. The boys are coming home. Life's returning to normal. Or as normal as it can be. I danced with Mary, slow waltz. My shoulder hurt, but I didn't care. I danced with my mother. She cried, happy tears, said she's so proud, so grateful I came home. I danced with Helen. She's graduating next week, going to nursing school in the fall, going to help people. I'm proud of her. My father gave a toast, said I'm a good man, said he's proud to call me son, said Mary and I will have a good life, said the hard part's over. Now comes the living. He's right. The hard part's over. Now comes the living. We moved into the apartment yesterday. 2 bedrooms, small, perfect. Mary's already making it home. Curtains, rugs, pictures on the walls. One picture is of Mike and me and the crew, standing in front of Mary's Pride, taken in France, Normandy. Feels like a lifetime ago, all of us smiling, young, unbroken. Mike's gone. But I remember him. I'll always remember. I start at Chrysler Monday, building engines, regular work, honest work. Life is good, simple, normal, everything I dreamed about in Belgium, everything I fought for. I still have nightmares, probably always will, still jump at loud noises, still carry the ghosts, but Mary understands, holds me when I wake up screaming, doesn't ask questions, just holds me. Together, we're doing this together. Danny and I talked at the reception, about the war, about the crew, about survival. We made it, Tommy, he said. We actually made it. Yeah, I said. We did. What now? He asked. Now we live, I said. We live the best lives we can for the ones who didn't make it. He nodded. Understood. That's what we owe them. Mike, Harrison, all of them. We owe them good lives, full lives, lives worth the sacrifice. So that's what I'm going to give them. Going to love Mary, going to work hard, going to raise kids, going to build something good, going to carry my memories, my scars, my ghosts, but not let them define me, not let them destroy me, going to live in spite of them, because of them, going to honor the dead by living fully. That's my promise, my commitment, my duty, starting now, starting today, starting with Mary. If anyone ever reads this diary, know this. I was Staff Sergeant Thomas Kowalski, 2nd Armored Division, tank gunner, then tank commander. I fought from Normandy to the Bulge. I survived. I lost friends, brothers, men better than me, Mike Santini, Earl Jenkins, Bobby Wilson, Harrison, and so many others. I killed men, German soldiers, someone's sons, someone's brothers. I carry that. I'll always carry that, but I also loved, and was loved, and came home, and built a life. And that life, it's beautiful. Despite everything, despite the pain, despite the scars, it's beautiful, and I'm grateful, every day, for every boring moment, for every quiet morning, for every simple joy, because I know how rare it is, how precious, how easily it could have been taken away. So I live, fully, completely, gratefully, for the ones who can't, for Mary, for family, for myself. I live. That's my story. That's my war. That's my peace. And if you're reading this because you're going through something similar, know this. You can survive. You can heal. You can build a life. It won't be easy. It won't be perfect. The scars don't disappear. But you can do it. One day at a time. One step at a time. With love. With support. With purpose. You can do it. I did. We did. And you can too. Live. That's all. Just live. It's enough. It's everything. End of diary. Thomas and Mary Kowalski had 4 children. 2 boys, 2 girls. Thomas worked at Chrysler for 37 years. Retired 1982. He and Mary were married for 53 years. He passed away in 1998. She followed in 2001. He never forgot Mike Santini. Never forgot Harrison. Never forgot any of them. He lived a good life. A full life. A life worth living. He honored the dead by living well. And that's all any of us can do.